third person. The third person.
Whatever you wanna know, whoever you wanna see, the place you all need to be.
The seeds that plant seeds, the trees that can't read. I can't remember none of the third verse. Shout out to Stat Quo, dropping bars. Third verse Thursday. Stat always going viral. Quo. Good morning to you, brother. How you doing?
It's been a very interesting morning for y'all. You know,
Right.
very interesting morning. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's warm the show real quick. What's up, everybody in the chat? We have another update. Stat had a phone call this morning from Game, and there's some point of views that Game asked to share. So we're going to do that. Before we do that, we want to say, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Shout out everybody in the chat and everybody who supports us. Trues and Harmony, always a top three. Trues and Harmony is always top three in the chat. We got Red Trout in here. Shout out to Bucktooth, Blue Slides. Hello, Paul. That's a new one. Welcome, Paul. Big shout out to Anon. We got a new member. Thank you so much. Crown K. That's what's up. Rap Stars Boy 24. DE Divine Eternally. Who's that? LeCoin Hip Hop. Who? I'm sure El Janelle's is in here. What up, Lils? Our moderator, shout out to Brown Girl L. We've been a lot of conversations coming from this corner of the hip hop universe this week. A lot of conversations, Stat, and probably the biggest one was when we released the video of Top Dawg checking Stat Quo. Called him and checked him.
You know, it's crazy. We wasn't even gonna put that out.
We weren't even gonna put it out. He did it anyway.
But this is one thing I think, because we gained more popularity. Me and Justin talked about it this morning. We've already said so many things in old videos that if people went and clipped them and took them out, they probably would go viral.
It'd be crazy.
I mean, just shit that DJ has shared. Fuck what I'm talking about. You know
right. That's really the crazy stuff.
It just takes people a long time to catch up to some things. And the only unfortunate thing about it is the situation that happens when people just, I mean, the reason why Top called me initially was from a clip where he felt like the whole conversation was not being told. So that was the whole reason why that even came about. So it's just that's the only thing about what today we're in it's like clipping culture. So the whole conversation is not being had. You know, you good people actually come in here and watch the whole show and see everything, but most people just see a clip and they get something from it. So, you know, I'm gonna try to do my best to convey some of the messages that my brother called me with this morning. And I definitely want to say, when I was talking about, and not because he called me, of people that mean the world to me, Game and Whack 100 are two people that are definitely on my list. When I say it's 8 people, that I am truly appreciative of. And not because he called me this morning, because that's what we do anyway. He wasn't calling me about what I said. He was calling me about the way it's being perceived. So he wanted people to hear how he feels about some shit. And I understand that. He's finishing up his album. He's definitely gonna come on, and because it's a lot of stuff he told me. I'm like, yo, I'll just wait for you to talk about that. And at the same time, I don't want to perpetuate something that just goes farther, because what he said, the most impactful thing he said to me was, he named a bunch of deceased rappers that we all know that we can no longer talk to. And he just was talking about how dangerous it gets. I think kind of like what Lupe said too, you know, how dangerous it gets for certain situations. And, you know, he's outside, no security, just game, you know what I'm saying? So it's never the artist, it's always the different entourages. So that's something that kind of hit home with me about conversations, because that's not what I'm definitely not on that. I don't want none of that to happen on either side. I love Game just as much as I love Top, and I know Top loves Chuck. I know and he knows that, because he said that. He said he loved Kendrick, so it's not even a thing. So that's another thing. I don't like people, and I know you got to get your views, and I feel it, but there's no beef. between Kendrick and Game. It's not a beef. It's not a beef. It's just a uh he reiterated that to me on the phone that he didn't know that Kendrick felt the way about that. Reiterated it, but now he said in retrospect he could see and understand it. But guess what? This is the bomb. This is one of the bombshells I'm gonna drop here today. But he said when Kendrick did Power, and no, this is what he said. When Kendrick did Power, and they knew that 50 Cent was his arch nemesis, he didn't feel away. He felt like he enjoyed it. So he's like, I didn't care that Kendrick did Power. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? But that's what he said. You know, another thing that he wanted me to put out here, since I'm going down, the hoodie that he wore in the J Rock video, the reason he zipped it up is because he got $10,000 to wear it. So that's why he was wearing that shirt. So everybody that held that grudge from him, he got paid money to wear the hoodie. You know what I'm saying? The third thing, because I talked about the verses. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hey, you know me. I'm like, bro, you didn't set up One Blood. You didn't do these. He's like, you don't understand that. If let's say I got up there and it would just turn into something else, and I just was myself and start just totally disrespecting YG. He said that would have caused something, a ripple effect outside of that event. He said it was about brotherhood coming together and falling back from where I was in order for us to have a great moment. And I'm like, I straight up told him, I said, well, I feel like some of the people that some of the people that are owners of that entity are not big fans of you. So I felt like it was a way. He's like, well, fuck it. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because my mama told me to do it. And it was a good look for the Pyrus and Bloods all in Los Angeles and around the world that seen that. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, and the fourth thing is, niggas can't fuck with him lyrically. Just period. And he said niggas don't, all the motherfuckers, when people talk about lists and he not on the list, but he went up against Jay-Z. He went up against this one. He went up against that one, and he's still here. He's still here rapping, walking around, running his miles, living his life, lifting weights, living and breathing and eating good food. So those are the four things that he definitely wanted me to convey. He said, you see how we getting on the phone and we talking? He said that's all he ever wanted when it came to Doc. And I said, this was my rebuttal. I said, hey, well, the video shoot, he felt the way about that. He said, well, if I held grudges, like niggas held grudges against me, where would the West Coast be? He's like, there was a time where I was the only nigga out here. So if I was like that, when niggas was trying to do what they was doing, where would we be? Where would we all be? And that was his rebuttal. So I'm only here. That's my friend in real life. So I'm here to convey, to make sure the messaging gets out. And we're gonna make this a whole YouTube thing together. And we're gonna put it out together as a clip. So Aaron, go ahead and get ready for that. So it's not if somebody clips it up, they get the whole conversation. And I wanted just to end here, please. I know you can't stop it and control it. You know what I mean? People just gonna do what they want to do. But I would like for it to end here because I got love on either side of this argument. So, and I don't even call it an argument. I just call it a disagreement or whatever of seeing things differently. So that's me. But we had a long conversation about a lot of other things that I'm gonna save for him to actually come on here and discuss when he wants to come on. I'm gonna give him that opportunity. He's like, I'm ready for the Clippers. I know exactly what the fuck I'm gonna say. They can clip it like this. I already know how to do it. And he was reminding me, because he told me 5 niggas called him and said, what's up with me? I said, you call them 5 niggas and let them niggas know ain't nothing up with me. I ain't got nothing. I'm speaking. But that's what he was saying. He was like, I'm watching the whole shit, so I'm not. He's like, everybody else ain't seeing the whole shit. I said, Chuck, did they see the clip where I said you saved my life? Did they see the clip where I said if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't still be working in the music industry of me A&R projects or being around? I don't know, nigga. I'm just telling you. I was like, well, I mean, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, so the only thing that I feel like I messed up on is that night when we did say that clip. I didn't mention him or Wax's name and how important they were to my career as in music, um, and giving me that opportunity. And I would also throw Cole Bennett on that list as well, and because having the opportunity to work with him at and be on the ground floor of Lyrical Lemonade and being able to build something that massive and being a part of it, and DJ clearly, and you as well. That goes without saying. We got a show together, so yeah.
Right.
But that's that. You know, guys, please, if you can, for me, which you're not gonna do it. Some of you guys with channels, y'all can do it if you want to do. I just it should I don't want it to be something that it goes somewhere else. I did these niggas is niggas I talk to like regular, right? And I'm learning this shit in media. It's crazy how certain people's conversation like just can shift everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is a lesson for me. This is a lesson for me. And as much as as candid as I want to be, I don't know if I'm able to be as candid as I can be for the sake of safety, because I don't see the artist doing anything. It's just people around the artist, and that's what not to be long winded. I know Boy Wonder hates when I bring his name, but I'm gonna do it. But when I was talking to Boy Wonder about coming to Los Angeles, when I guess the beef was dying down, and he was telling me that it's not about the artist or anybody from the camp. It's about the people around it that caused the bullshit to happen. So anyway, I'm sorry to be long-winded, Justin. I just
Nah.
I didn't want to forget anything, because he definitely wanted me to convey those messages, and we're gonna put this whole shit out for y'all to see it.
Word. That was beautiful right there. And also, okay. Word up. I mean, it's good to get, one, it's good to know that, there isn't any intention. Two, I think it's good that you're starting to feel what it's like to be on the other side of the microphone.
Yes.
And, I think, particularly when you're in the media, there's a lot of reps that people pick up. And so that was really interesting to hear you just say that right now. Do you know if he took Kendrick being in power as a diss? Did he take it as a diss?
Well, he just talked. He said, "No one. We from Compton. We supposed to stand it together, right?" So that was that nigga was my arch nemesis. So he felt the way about that. But I don't know if he's had a discussion, because I never heard that before today. So I don't know. I don't know who he has talked to about that. I don't think he just made that up on the fly, but I'm just saying that's what he said. And I really didn't want to even say the things that I'm saying, because I kind of wanted to die down, because I know somebody's going to take what I just said and it's going to be a whole nother thing and just keeps it going. But I think it's important that the whole reason why I even started talking about this shit is I felt like his legacy as an MC was being tarnished, and I let the comments get to me, so I'm being protective, and because people are saying this and saying that, and it's just like, yo, man, the fuck are we talking about right now? You know what I mean? Like, this dude's one of the dopest niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when there's no communication though, and people ain't really talking, it's this where it be at, and I think that's how it goes. Just got to be more. Just let this be a lesson. Everybody got to start talking to each other. He told me, I didn't even know this, but he said when he was working with Glasses was never under no paperwork. I didn't even know that, and that sounds just like Chuck. You know what I'm saying? And when niggas was talking about how he had a whole blue division of Black Wall Street, and niggas didn't want him to do that. So I didn't. That's some new shit I learned. I'm sure Glasses knows that or whatever.
Wow.
And he was just talking about how much love he got for Glasses and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was a phenomenal call. I just know this is the West Coast is very challenging, Justin. And it's never the artist. Like he said, 5 people called him today. And he said, y'all little, you and that little black motherfucker, you black ass motherfuckers, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That shit is he said niggas wasn't listening then, they listening now. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
um he hit me.
Right.
So, it is what it is.
Word up. Word up. Well, happy Third Verse Thursday, Third Versikins. This has been ground zero for some evolving, serious conversations over the past 2 weeks.
We happy to bring it to y'all, man. We happy to be a part of the of having the news. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure everybody is getting, from my perspective, getting heard the way they want to be heard. And hopefully it leads to everyone eventually having a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's it, to have some understanding. You know what I'm saying? That's what I
Yeah.
think. I think that's what you want, because that's one thing about me. My phone is, I answer it, niggas. I'm on it. Like, what we doing? And generally, if I say something that niggas get mad at, I am the one person that niggas gonna call me. Niggas is going, hey, that's just what it is. That's why I'm like, if there's a situation, niggas is gonna hit me. And I just want to say this: I don't know why the word clown bothers me, because I just seen it in the chat. That man is not a clown. I'm not a clown. Game ain't a clown. Maybe what you perceive him to be, and that's what you think. But that man is not a clown. He's done a lot of things to help even the artists that y'all love. He was on the ground floor of that. Took Nipsey on tour. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick went on tour. Maybe the circumstances wasn't the way some of the guys didn't like it, but the fact of the matter, it was an opportunity. So, you know, you can't do that. Because you need, like, for me, if I said Easy E was a clown for how he handle the Dre situation, right? Not paralleling it, but I'm just saying you can't call Easy E a clown. Easy E did so much for Dre in his career to get him where he got him. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't know no Dre. So we got to look at some of the things of people that were there from, the ground floor. You know what I mean? So I don't know why the word clown bothers me.
I think clown is reaching weird levels. You know what I mean? Like, not weird levels, but weird levels. Like Weird Out Here. I've watched weird become an outright actionable insult over the course of the past 15 years. And I feel like clown is inching in that direction. I think it's inching over there, Like pretty soon clown gonna be pew-pew language for some people.
And what he also, the responsibility that I have that he put on me is, when people are saying things and I am around, it's my responsibility to stand up for him. He's right about that, because of what he's meant to me. And if Top felt that way, he's right about that. And if Dre felt that way, if Cole Bennett felt that way, if you felt that way, if DJ felt that way, if Whack 100 felt that way, Paul Rosenberg, Eminem, so Dr. Dre, so forth and so on, it's my responsibility to say something in regards, because that's how I'm raised. You're not going to talk about somebody that I love in front of me without saying something. So if I see it and y'all disrespecting one of mine, just going forward, just know I'm going to address it. You know what I mean? You're right to have your opinion, and that's what it is. But I'm just letting you know I'm going to address that, because all these people, have meant a lot to me. Kendrick too. Like he's meant a lot to me in my career and why I stand here. So we're not finna just have conversations negatively about people I love. You're not gonna talk shit about Justin Hunt. And I'm just gonna be sitting there with my fucking arms crossed, like, okay, are you finished shitting on Justin? That's not happening.
Well, you've always been like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think where the challenge comes with you now is, because I sit here with you every day. You do this all the time. Like you defend all these people also,
Yeah.
but people are seeing different cuts and different clips of the conversation. So I'm not sure that the love and support and defense that you give all the people you love is as loud as some of these viral moments. But I've never heard you once really talk about anything that people might find critical of any of these people within that same conversation, you talking about how important they are, how much you love them, how great they are, so.
And I didn't write no stat. The Black Slim Shady. Are you crazy? Hey yo, don't put that shit out there, dog. That's already been debunked. Fucking Bizarre did an interview and said that. I instantly called Paul Rosenberg. Bizarre issued an apology because I did not fucking say that, and I did not write that. And we gonna have Game on. We gonna talk about Stat and Game, writing rhymes. Like, when we have them on, y'all gonna be able to see. Dog, that's not that. I did not write that song. I did tell him not to do that song, but I didn't write that song. So I stay out of. I try to stay out of situations where I love people on the both sides. I try to bring it together. That's me. Just like with Coach United last night.
100%. We'll get there in 1 second. I do want to say this real
Okay.
fast before we get too far away. It's I just lost it. I think I just lost it. I'm usually pretty good about keeping my thoughts before we go there. But yeah, particularly with the Black Slim Shady, I think that is a great example of something you've talked about multiple times on this podcast in episodes that people probably haven't seen. And like those early episodes, I really think I know I've got a lot of stuff bookmarked for just breakdowns that I've got in my head right now. But like, if people go back and look at those early episodes, the gold mines that's sitting in there when nobody was watching is ridiculous.
Yeah, and there's another one. Eminem wrote Dre's verse on Syllables. Just so y'all know that.
It sounded like it, I think.
Yeah, somebody asked if I wrote it. No, that was him.
Oh, okay.
And guess what? Hey, and I'm not afraid to say it. Eminem, parts of my verse, he wrote some of it in there. How about that? And guess what? I was going to say whatever the fuck he told me to say. So, how about that?
Because you learned your lesson.
Because I learned my lesson. Shit, fuck you talking about? That's fucking Eminem. I don't give a fuck about what y'all think about me. Oh, that ain't one of the greatest writers. Oh, okay. Fuck what you talking about. That's fucking Eminem. That is Marshall Mathers. Yes. Eminem
That's
wrote
funny.
some of it. Go listen to it. I wrote most of it, but he came in with some shit. I'm like, that's dope. Write that down. I'm on a song with Eminem, Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, and the nigga who's the reason why I'm on the song is telling me what I should say, and I'm about to be like, no, I don't want to say that. I already learned my lesson. That's not the way you get ahead in this life. That's not how you win. That's not how you become successful, dog. You don't tell people that sell billions of records what you're not going to do.
Right. That does not sound like the best way to move around and have success in life. But yeah, it's a dope week for third verse on the content side of things. Fantastic Culture United last night. Did you have a good time?
Awesome. I mean, besides them they was about to tear my neck off for saying anything positive about Killer Mike. I did not know that he was such a villain in the space. I had no clue.
Well, I want to play a clip right here. What we're talking about is Killer Mike versus FD Signifier and Dr. Ball, right? And so Dr. Jared Ball and L and BK, they teleported all through this conversation. And because FD has been on Culture United before, expressed some of his challenges with Killer Mike. Killer Mike just did the Red Bull freestyle. People have interpreted that freestyle, or I guess what's it called, 360 Cypher, whatever it's called. It's dope. People are interpreting that as shots at Dr. Ball and at FD Signifier. And so that was one of our segments last night. This morning I look in the group chat and Dr. Ball reacted to L and BK spin fire at Killer Mike. So here is a clip from Dr. Ball. It says, my alleged response to Killer Mike allegedly calling me out, right? And it's basically just a clip of CU. Let me put this on the screen right here. So this is actually really dope. This is great to see this morning.
Republican white supremacist Brian Kemp is a problem. I think not speaking out against the Cop City movement is a problem. I think this freestyle came off as you're rich and you're bitter. I don't know if this is just the era or the year of the bitter rich nigga, but nobody wants to hear you gloating about your wealth and your capital accumulation and the way you move and the fact that you can get the owner of the Hawks on the phone, and that fucking power doesn't trickle down. The wealth you hoard and collect does not trickle down. And acting like it does is disingenuous. Calling yourself the wolf of Peachtree, saying the future of Atlanta looks like me. It looks like a wealth hoarding hypocrite that shakes hands with white Republicans. That's what the future of fucking Atlanta looks like. That's embarrassing. And I just think, like, taking up the mantle to say, you just jealous because we were just fucking, what do you do? And you sit up here ask for money. You're asking for money for community movement builders.
Now listen, that's called my boy. You know nothing about that.
No, but that's my overall take, is that I really wish that the Black celebrity class that wants to purport that Black capitalism is going to save us would actually sit in front of a fucking scholar and not triangulate bots and trolls and people who are being really disingenuous and just are hating or whatever. I wish they would take the time to read a little bit, discuss a little bit, actually have their ideas challenged, because this is the thing, like FD said in that clip, this goes back to Booker T. Washington. This is not a fucking novel ass idea that's like, yeah, if we work real hard, if we put ourselves by our bootstrap and we hoard wealth, then we can hold the whip. That's not liberation for this Black collective. And I think we also need to just understand class politics here. When when Killer Mike is saying us, he's talking about T.I. He's talking about the Black millionaire class, the Black celebrity class, the petty bourgeoisie that Elle mentioned earlier. He is not talking about us as in like the Black collective. There's no way you are, because of the class element, you know, and the way that class intersects with race. And so, I don't know. I don't even want to say offense. I'm just annoyed at this point by, you know, rich, bitter individuals that want to have their cake and eat it too, spread misinformation, talk about real Black liberatory movements, talk about Garvey, talk about Fred Hampton and all this shit, and then actually be like, no, the real liberation is not buying Jordans and investing in a fake Black bank and shaking hands with white people who don't have our best interests at heart. Like, I'm ready for these ideas to be challenged in a real way, and to see that, Breakfast Club clip of him absolutely dismissing Dr. Ball, absolutely dismissing FD, and not even trying to engage with the ideas that he has is really disappointing. And I think they just need to shut the fuck up.
BK.
Wow.
So, but that's Dr. Ball's channel, and so that he was the one dropping the ad libs and the and the funk flexes in here. So I was actually talking to Lils last night after the show. Like I said, this was a very, very, very good week of conversations that have moved around from this corner of, you know, the hip hop universe. We've had the Top Dog conversation go around. We now have Game, his response on that came through here. Last night we had Dime a Dozen. I do want to play this Dime a Dozen track. Dime a Dozen previewed his album WD11, which is dope concept. It's named after, Dime a Dozen was signed to Warner Brothers, and so he called it WD11 because he was also a big fan of Warner Brothers, the channel. So every track is named after a different Warner Brothers TV show, and on the track Sister, he opens the full clip on Joey Badass and Jid. That song, we broke that song last night, so that was clipped and that's flying around. What Stat was talking about with J. Cole was flying around last night too. So we've had 4 different things that are making an impact in different directions. And now today we have Dr. Ball, FD signifying Killer Mike. So we've got economic conversations, socio-political conversations, broke new music, lore with people's favorite rappers that's connected to street stuff. And it's all happening right here at the third verse and the Company Man channel and Culture United. So it's all happening.
Man, we appreciate you you guys for tuning in. Please like, add, and subscribe on YouTube and wherever you are, wherever you're looking at it at. Me and just please support our what we're doing here. As someone calls us, our sandwich show. And you got to send the thing to DJ too. I don't know if he.
I keep forgetting now that you're logging in on your own. It's
Yeah,
throwing me.
send him
It's throwing me for a loop here. Why don't we just give DJ the access too? Can we? I think we can do that.
Well, we can do that. We need to do that. But you remember you came over to do it. So we got to go to DJ's in Oregon right now, I think.
Oh, that's what's up.
But he said he'll get on from the hotel.
Okay, cool.
He
So we got
loves
that
talking
there.
to Mark.
Mark's coming on. We have Mark Batson joining at 9 a.m. Do you want to play this a clip from Dime a Dozen? This track where he goes at JID and then
I
want
want
to do it
to
later?
say we'll do that later because I want
Good.
to basically highlight something that people need to go look at. Justin dropped a video on his channel, and it came up on Culture United about Jay-Z and Killer Mike because L was separating the two, and Justin and L had a brief but poignant, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, discussion. And we that's where the tension came in that brief moment. But Justin has a video up on the Company Man channel. Y'all should go check it out. It's really good. Because I know L loves Jay-Z. We all love Jay-Z. But she separates Jay from Killer Mike. And I can understand that because Jay has never really made his bones of like really just falling into politics. But in the grand scheme of things, the things that she kind of hate about Killer Mike, Jay has actually mastered those things behind the scenes and some of the ways that he's moves. And my point to it all, Justin, is nobody is universally good and nobody is universally bad. So I feel like there should be discussions had so that we can all meet in the common ground and come together and try to figure out the best ways that we can move forward as a people. Especially we talking about, all of us trying to elevate. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to get to a place where that person is just there and we ain't gonna talk to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to sit down and talk to Herschel Walker, and I think he's probably one of our most lost gentlemen. I would talk to Clarence Thomas, and I think he's one of the.
Would you talk to Confederate Soldier Tatum?
Is that a man? What is he? Is
He's
that a white man or black man?
He's a black man. Confederate Soldier Tatum. You know Confederate Soldier Tatum?
I would talk to him. I would talk to him.
Yeah, he's all over the news now with this Nolan Wells stuff.
I would. The reason I would talk to him because I would try to understand if it's something that I disagree with. Yeah, I would definitely talk to him.
Yeah, you know him, right?
Yeah, I've seen him. I would definitely talk to him. I would want to Well, I don't think that is his name. His name's Brandon. So,
he goes by Officer Tatum. So he's basically Confederate Soldier Tatum. That's
well, you gave him
right?
the nickname. I'm going to respect him because I've never met him, and I don't want to disrespect the gentleman. I would talk to him. I'm willing to have a discussion with anyone because I feel like that's how you grow. You know what I'm saying? If someone says something that you totally disagree with, right? Talking to them will only confirm what you already know, which will allow your stance to be far greater than it was prior to the conversation. So I benefit either way it goes. Sitting to talk to them, I might take something from it, a perspective that I didn't get, and it may make me see some side of what they're saying. So, like I said, either way, I win. So that's why I don't think it's bad to talk to somebody,
Because even in defeat is a valuable lesson learned that evens it up for me. They say when the grass is cut, the snakes will show. I gotta thank my little homie Naz for that though. I love that line.
Yes. You know what I see?
We called him Naz. Always said out to me.
Disrespectful.
That was disrespectful.
Very disrespectful.
That's funny.
Cut the grass, the snakes will show. Gotta thank my little homie Naz for that though.
And I'm gonna let Karma catch up to Jazzo. That's funny.
But the beautiful part is that they all cool now.
Yeah. It's good.
Come on, dog.
Hey, that's a celebratory thing right there. Let's drop a celebratory gong for the congregation. We got about 8 minutes till Mark Batson gets here. Let's play this Dime song real quick, and then we'll introduce Mark. Let's do that real fast because This joint is tough. It got clipped last night. I do think people need to hear it. Where is this at?
So he's dissing JID and who else on the song?
And Joey Badass.
Okay, Joey Badass. All right.
Yeah, in the full conversation, he explains it. He explains, where the attention comes from. He's known Joey Badass since high school. Him and Capital Skis were really tight. And when it comes to JID, that happened to be just over. I can't remember how he said it. He said one of the funniest things. He called it, I don't know if he called it like sensitive timeline talking. I don't know what he said. He said something. I was like, I got to put a bookmark in that because that's actually pretty crazy the way he described it. But I got to give credit where credit is due because dime a dozen, he let the mic do the talking on this one. So here we go. This is Sister Sister off of WD11, which is available this weekend. Friday? Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. Let's take a listen.
Down there.
Culture United.
Aura like Aurora Borealis, call the florist, need euphoria for all of this madness.
It's 10 p.m.
Feeling like a sauna.
The track list is though. So, Wayne's brother, Sister Wayne concept is really, with back positive.
Ooh, respect.
Yeah, definitely. You want to play another joint? We got time for one more. We got time for one more.
If you want, I mean, this would be very.
The Sisters. Culture United. That took me a while, but I made it.
Take you the fuck out. Yeah, Donald. Like Calvin and like Mike on the nights, cause you acting like you can play. When rappers from the city was active, you left the stage. Screaming at he back, but forgot who gave him a stage. How you ducking at home when I know exactly when niggas stay. The truth must be offensive when the spitters are sending internet threats. I'm gonna address it in the lyrics. Must be vexing niggas' spirits. Cause I'm yelling addresses and DMs and you just posting on your ex like you don't hear it, huh? You skipping steps, trying to step the kings. Missing all your morals, chasing big steppers, nigga, step the steez. Somebody told me that he next to lead and we should place him next to bid. The Puff co-sign ain't impressing me. And I ain't trying to call you gay, but I'm just saying, y'all built the bond in the stew, but where's the music to prove it? You fit descriptions of the dudes he recruited at daddy's house, but who was producing? New York or lose if you lead the movement.
Look what you did, BK. It's you, BK.
Take a leave, Hobie, it's dad time. Can't do me like I'm sold, I'm not that blind. I see through the past fine, play in my face, get hit with a flame. I how you playing your power, rolling your pastime. Hello. Y'all should already know my state. I never let no slick shit go by me. You can be a big ticket or nobody. Should get lit, duck or get hit with your sister. Recording in mama's basement, I had to keep. Destiny led to my stepfather mentoring me. An upperclassman in school ended up mentoring Steeds. And Steeds mentor you, stop ignoring that you my seed. I'm sure you expect loyalty from your goons, but the kid was cool. Even disclosed to me what he gets from you. I extort you and your little crew. The Beast Coast moved to Cali, no wonder nobody spent for you. Oh.
But Justin, Justin went to do something now and went quiet. Justin!
Smoke two cool J's like Joey and Jid. Bowing out and getting back in the fields. Recession indicated like Owen Lil Fizz. Heard you don't listen to lyricists. I broke your shit down mid by mid. If the flow's unlimited, lyrics and stick to your ribs, I live. Ass whippers come complimentary, backhanded. Little diamond, something nickel plated. Knuckles, chippers, choppers, that's a crack sandwich. Huddle up what you lack managed. Paragraphs, now you back panning. Put you in a scope and pray they caught a budget for you. I can tell Cleveland mad panicked. They try to laugh and dismiss him. I know your boss is embarrassed the way you did right in the rap at the distance. Got a background in athletics, expected the actual plan of a system. Don't peacock, slide for your nigga fold, bet he not. Trash ass back, trying to get an EGOT. Jid on my shit list, both wanna be dot. Twitter fingers never seen no fade. On sideways, sounding like a team bouquet. No dot, chase hoes on speed, no stage. Friends dot, close friends won't see no phase. How you going down me about fame when the leader on your team couldn't beat no names? New Jack treating rappers like Nino, bombing your villain, make you relocate. I laugh at bruh, sliding dolly, no passenger. Bodies on or offset, your crew, your camera can capture this massacre. Bruh, is it this era or is it Atlanta? The fact that these rappers are sassier. How Jid on my tip on Twitter, live it, type it in capitals. Claim you the baddest and battle and back it up. Number one stunner till I stun a nigga like Steve Austin. Your son told Fibs you ain't really never had no balls when. Go against God, he thinking he winning, he lost it. Killing these bitches, this shit really getting exhausting. These two siblings hitting both can. Name on a bullet make the insecure feel important. Ooh, ooh, This game became some shit that I'm accustomed to. They tend to take the Twitter feeds and duck the boo. Y'all was better off saying silent. Made a nigga roll 2 J's back to back. And that's the way I like. Guess now it's fuck being friendly. This shit is official. I rolled double XL.
Yeah, a lot to get off his chest.
For these digital issues. They ain't about this hip hop. They groupied out for guest spots. They don't do the dozens, they do desktops. It's supposed to be the best out. Signed to these bad deals, they showboat. Class actions, no smoke. Fast rapping, no quotes. Drop the buzzer beater for the Grammys and got no votes. Climb the ladder, dig your own hole like with cold rope. Yo, put that out.
Diamond does it, man. Diamond.
He got off.
Diamond does it. Got off.
He got off. Man, can we all just get along, Diamond does it? Damn, man. Y'all love, man. People love confidence. I tell you what, I love it too. I ain't gonna lie.
I think the competitive foundation of hip hop is part of the reason it has traveled so far. I think it's amazing.
Do you realize that most of the shit that we consume, it comes from a competitive place, like people going at each other?
I mean, I think that's part of what capitalism does. Like, if you think about it, like I'm not even trying to go into that. I'm not trying to go in that sphere necessarily. But if you think about the foundation, everything is like haves and have-nots. So that makes everything a battle over resources. That makes everything a competition.
Like the sport shows, they're yelling at each other the whole time. When me and you, I bet you right now we start cussing each other out, the views will go crazy. Right. Like how Glass is like, you want to get 1,000 people in here? You want to get 700 people in here?
Right.
This shit is like what did he say? He want to wield the industry in his palm. That's really what it is.
He wants to will the industry in his direction. No, he wants to bend the industry to his will.
Dog, do you realize? It's just so crazy. Like, Aaron made one change on that clip. Checks stat quo. Yeah. Top Dog calls everything. Checks. What? Right. What am I doing with Poetic Flacco? I want to send a shout out to him. He posted our stuff too. But those eyes where people are crying on his shit, that shit is genius.
Right.
Everybody every story that comes out, he put those eyes on them. So you as the viewer, it's like, oh shit, you just click on that motherfucker. Right. And this cat's killing it. Man, it's just like, yo, this is it's very interesting, man. It's a very interesting time that we live in, and we trying to survive out here in it, you know? It's just wild. Trying to actually, I guess if somebody called me messy, Justin, I'm not messy. I'm not messy because I'm telling my story.
Sound like you're solving problems to me, one. And two, you're there. Like, that's the other thing, right? I was talking, I can't remember who I was talking to. I don't know who I was saying this to, but I was like, working with Stat is incredible for a number of reasons. One of them is, he's a walking news story just on his own, off his own existence, off his own work, off of his career, off of being in the rooms, off of being friends, right? So it's not like he is reporting telephone. So to say that you're being messy is to say you can't talk about your own life, and that's a different place.
Like, the rumor shit, I wouldn't even get into that, because working in this industry, you get all the rumors. It's like you get a booklet of rumors when you get into the music industry. It's like someone serenades you with a book. That's why I like not bring the name up, but that's why when the Diddy stuff came out, I was like, we got that book. I got that book back in 2003. Right. I got the P Diddy book back in 2003, so it was nothing really. That shit didn't surprise me. But I'm just saying, messy would be me reporting on things that I had nothing to do with or didn't know about. I'm just talking about shit I really was around for and was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just talking about my own personal experience. You know what I'm saying? I was in the room when they wrote Confessions Part 2. So I can talk about Jermaine Dupri telling that story, and it was his life that he was writing about, which he said in an interview. I was sitting there. I didn't watch that. You know what I mean? Right. So anyway,
Word up. You're tuned in live. Third Verse Podcast. Stat Quo, Justin Hunt, and DJ More Millie. DJ will be joining us later today. We haven't done the poll in a minute. Big shout out to everybody who has been supporting us. Shout out to all the Third Verse kids worldwide. We've been talking about this next segment for the past week. We're super excited about it. Last week we reacted to the Anger Management Tour. Stat Quo performed on that tour. The Madison Square Garden stop is the one that we watched. And we started talking about just the incredible music, the incredible, what an incredible time that was. And one of our very close friends, Mark Batson, composer, author, brilliant mind, brilliant thinker, and truthfully, I think probably for both of us, just one of the most talented people we've ever met in our lives, is also a crucial part of the Aftermath story and the Eminem story. And Eminem released an album called Relapse, which to me is hip-hop's telltale heart. It's Edgar Allan Poe. And a very crucial part of the creation of that project was Mark Batson. And so he has graciously agreed to come on this show today to talk about one of the albums that I think has only grown more celebrated over time. The one and only Mark Batson is joining the Third Verse Podcast today.
I sent you the link.
And we're going to bow. Go. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. Good to be here.
We got an echo. Yeah, we got echo. Do you have headphones?
I got headphones.
Yeah, so you can put the headphones on. Let's make sure we're good with that. Mark Batson for breakfast. Yeah,
is it gone now? Nah, you still got an echo.
Once he gets the headphones, it should be good.
No, he got a. Of course, he got on Beats. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, he got on Beats. That's what it is.
Of course.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that better?
Much better.
Much better. And you know what's crazy, Mark? When we sat down before, Justin was kicking himself though. He's like, "How did I not talk about Relapse this whole damn time?"
Yeah, man. I was so. I don't have a lot of regrets, but that was a major one that I had. I'm like, this album is. I mean, it's just incredible. It's also to me a very unique project within his catalog overall. And we sat there for like 2 hours talking about all kinds of things and somehow did not touch this topic. So thank you for coming back on, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Having a good morning. Good to see y'all. I'm so proud of what y'all doing. I love to see a business get started from the first brick. That's one of my favorite things to watch. When people first lay the first brick or break ground on a new business and then it starts to grow. And I love to see it grow. So I really appreciate watching what y'all been doing over here.
Hey, Mark, I want you to know that I handed out the Overachiever Award that you created. I got a whole thing. I had a whole ceremony. A$AP Rocky is our first recipient after me. Because anytime you go from Iggy to Rihanna, that's a level of overachieving that none of us have experienced. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. So when I refer to you, Stat, as an overachiever, it's not to say that your skill, that you have surpassed your skill. It's somebody who's been through.
It was a great compliment, just so you know. I didn't take it as an insult.
For me, it's somebody who's been through the aftermath system. See, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen rappers come through the aftermath system. So anybody who doesn't make it, the way I always describe it is like, if you don't have the activity, you know, when you're at aftermath, you're not pushing your own activity, you kind of sink 1 foot per year. You know what I'm saying? So every year you're, sinking. And if you're 5 feet, tall, if you're between 5 and 6 feet, by the 5th year, you're up to your neck. You know what I mean? So, and then after that, then what happens to what happens to the artists who don't survive that? You know what I'm saying? It's like Drake has this thing that he gets to where he's looking for the single. You know what I mean? So, and he loves to record. You know what I'm saying? So, for him, it doesn't really matter sometimes if the record comes out or not, because he enjoys the process of recording. You know what I mean? Just going to the studio every single day. So There's very rarely that people make it to release, to make it to the record drop. And that's for the amount of people who've been signed. But anybody else who's been signed there after they, go through that system, and if they never release, it seemed like that's it. You know what I mean? Like their forward motion or whatever that may be, it's never going to be what it was. So what I saw from you is to go through that system, learn from that system, and then eclipse, to me, in some ways, some of the things you could have accomplished in that system itself. And for that, I'll say that's the Overachiever Award, because most people can't, they'll never survive it. They won't survive it.
Well, just so you know, as intelligent as you described that, I have taken your award and made it ignorant. Because that's what I do. Yeah, it's like when you give somebody. It's like when you give somebody a gift, you can't tell them how to use it. You know what I'm saying?
You're right about that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna go off of. It's like you give somebody one of them massage guns. You can't tell the girl how to use a massage gun. I use it on my legs. She can use it how she wants. You know what I'm saying? I got a little shoulder pain, but she might use. It might be something else for her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So the award has been used now, and now I have taken it. And I have made it ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
So as intelligent as you are and how you describe that, no. A$AP Rocky is the first recipient. He went from Iggy to Rihanna. Shout out to my dog. You know what I'm saying? It's my massage gun, and you can use it on your shoulder, but I'm gonna use it some another way, Mark. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all can't front on Rocky's achievements, though, man. Rocky, the way Rocky built his career as a rapper, like the collaborations that Rocky was doing, always to me. He was very forward thinking in that, whether it be fashion. I mean, he was in videos with Lana Del Rey. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was always like smart enough to be making like some of the coolest moves, have the coolest style, which could lead him to, this unbelievable achievement, which is to be with Rihanna, which, that's an overachievement for almost anybody. What is he so.
Dawg, listen, that's the greatest thing he's done in his life. And it should be. It should be.
And he's selling out venues on his own. That
ain't greater than that, dog. She a billionaire, bro. And the greatest thing she's ever done is those children, and they did that.
Yeah,
they made a family, and you know how difficult it is, right, Mark, to have a relationship and to be in the limelight. That shit is damn near impossible, bro.
It is.
That's why you see these relationships crumble. So I'm saying somebody might think I'm insulting them, actually giving them props because the nigga was with Iggy. And as far as I'm gonna put you in, I'm gonna do this to you. I know we're gonna get the relapse, y'all. Just bear with me for a second.
Let's go.
You from New York City. You from the Mecca. Yeah. And if y'all didn't know, Mark's pen is crazy. How about that? Niggas don't know Mark is nice. All right.
Right.
You mean to tell me he went on that radio station and say he was a lyricist out of the Mecca? His mama, hey Mark, his real name is Rakim. He named after the God.
His name
after the God. So when you tell me about, he's probably the worst rapper as far as lyrics that ever come out of New York to be that popular.
That popular, okay. Because Mims had a hit, but he was never that popular.
No. I'm not, but he sells out arenas. Yeah, I'm talking about his shit is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. His flows are from Houston. His A$AP Mob is Bone Thugs and Harmony remix. Crazy Bone, Lazy Bone, A$AP Rocky, A$AP Ferg, same shit. Justin will tell you. He's sitting here. I'm saying purple, the syrup, whatever. That's lean from Texas. All his shit is stolen as far as what he is as an artist, and his flows are A, B, C, D, E, F, and his name is Rakim, my nigga. So I'm just trying to tell me, name another rapper from New York City that is that basic that sold out arenas.
I can't say, but what I will say about this though, let's just put this on the table.
New York City.
Let's put this on the table. A$AP Rocky is a star, and I would say that being a star is more valuable than being a dope rapper.
I agree.
That being a star being a star leads the way. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And he's a star first, and the songs that he makes, again, when you hear artists like now, to me, a lot of the songs are weak. Like I hear songs, I can't even understand. You know what I'm saying? Like like other people come, and no disrespect to Gunna, but when they play me some of his biggest songs, I don't personally get it. It's not for me. I don't expect. I'm not the age I'm supposed to get it, I guess. But the songs are so like not song structure, rap structure, any of those things. But the song fits him like he just got fitted for a suit. You know what I'm saying? Like an Italian suit. Italian suit maker came in there and just made it fit perfect for him. Same thing sometimes with Future, I just can't connect to it. When I come from Nas, from the generation of Nas, I can't really connect to it. But that music fits him obviously like a dope ass suit. So in the same thing with Rocky, I would say that the star that he is and the star that he developed for himself, that music fits him really well. And has built a career, outstanding career for him, which has opened up these amazing doors for him to even be in the same room as a Rihanna.
Well, I want you to know that any criticism I have of any artist, especially one of that level, I'm just talking about one aspect of it. I always say that he's had a phenomenal career, and anybody that we know of, that we speak of, that we can say we know this person, they have done a great job of doing what they do.
Yeah,
I'm just saying because we're old enough, Mark, to know that it was a thing with the East Coast, and we got the best MCs. And
right.
I'm just saying, as far as just bar for bar, he's probably one of the most basic rappers to ever come out of there. I'm just being honest. I mean, the Wu-Tang, he don't rap better than nobody in Wu-Tang. I mean, we can go all the way down to some of the guys that was Killer Army and them niggas. He can't. Dog, I'm talking about. You're talking about the Mecca, so that was my point. His starness, him being a star, he's probably one of the first guys that I see from New York City that rely very heavily, and it carried him to that level of fame. Because I feel like ODB wasn't lyrically crazy, but his style was so brand new, and it was such his that if he would, I feel like if he would have stayed alive, I think Old Dirty would have got there to a point where Old Dirty's doing stadiums by himself. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But he wasn't necessarily a miracle nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I knew ODB was a star when I first saw the first Protect Your Neck video, because there's everybody rhyming in there, and some people standing that are not. But as soon as it comes to his be rolling, as soon as he hit that, and then his whole style was like he just felt like a superstar. So it's another person whose style fit them, like, you know. And to me, like, his rhyme style is abstract, but it just worked, you know. Because Brooklyn Zoo to me is one of my favorite rap records ever in my whole collection. And he just, to me, it's almost a freestyle, but he know how to captivate, you know what I'm saying, on the track. And I'm saying there's not many MCs. Definitely Rocky is not that kind of MC. But I remember once this girl came to my house and played me this Rocky song. It was called LSD.
Fantastic song. Yeah. Off of,
and I was just
Long Live ASAP.
And when I first heard that, I was like, I didn't even know who it was. And I was like, yo, who is this? Like, what is this? It's this hip hop. And then it also had like some old school breaks and whatever, but he is not like your MC favorite MC. There's no question about that. He's more like a song stylist or a rap stylist. But I do like his style on certain songs. That one in particular struck out to me when I first heard it.
And I like his style. I like his style too. And I think people are misconstruing what I'm saying. I think he's dope at what he does. I just wanted to be clear. Go ahead.
I think people are focused on where you're putting your emphasis. I think that's what people are hearing.
I don't dislike him. I think he's dope. He's made some songs. I just think he's overachieved. That nigga he's selling out arenas, bruh.
So tell me this, for overachiever, let me just throw this on the table. How do you feel about the fact that he got caught up in a gun case where he what was it happened? That he shot his man's in the knuckle, or what was the whole thing? Like y'all probably know that better than me.
Well, but
Like,
see, but this is the thing. This is the thing, though, Mark. That's what. See, that's what we don't do on the third verse. See, I don't be touching. I don't be touching nobody' personal life, who they girl and all that. Who they shot or who they didn't shoot. I don't know nothing about it. And if I did, I wouldn't talk about it on here. I'm just saying, as a artist, right?
Gotcha.
Let's take somebody like West Side Gun, right? Who's is more stylistically based. Yeah. And you could say that Ghostface and Raekwon was heavily influenced some of the things that he's doing. Gotcha. But he's not doing arenas. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's a better rapper, bar for bar, than ASAP.
Definitely.
That's just me.
I say again, Stat, is that if ASAP got, I want to say 15, 20 years in the game or something. Like, yeah, I would say that. So I would say that West Side Gun has a lot of characteristics of ASAP Rocky, but a solid, we really knowing who he is 5-6 years in the game. I think somebody like that who's so fashion conscious, so stylistic, whatever. If he, again, this is a different rap than it was when ASAP Rocky started, obviously. People are not embracing rap the same way that they did in the past. You know what I'm saying? When Rocky was coming up. But I see if a rapper like West Side Gun could stay consistent like that for another 10 years and still be in people's realm, he could reach that status.
West Side is interesting. That's an interesting comparison between West Side Gun and ASAP Rocky, because I think they both are style mavens. They're both coming out the city. I'm not sure if either of them is really celebrated as a lyricist, more so as how they feel coming across the track. I think that West Side is just so prolific. You barely get music from ASAP. But then ASAP is more prolific to me on the fashion side. And perhaps they are on the yin and yang, or two sides of the same coin, and just where they put their emphasis. And perhaps West Side Gun would do the same thing if he was as photogenic as ASAP Rocky is. Because I think ASAP had, wherever his ambitions lied, I think he also had a lot of just natural gifts that made it very easy for him to be the face of a number of things, whether that's ASAP or whether that's Armani,
Yes.
And his biggest song was given to him by his arch nemesis now, which is Effing Problems. Drake gave him that song, which he gave to Kendrick, which he gave to Kendrick first. That's why Kendrick's verse was on it, but Kendrick, because he didn't want to do Poetic Justice, but Kendrick insisted that he did do Poetic Justice, and then ASAP inherited the record. So I don't know if people know that, but
side shout out to Stat for admitting obviously that Drake can rap. I don't understand. I don't understand the amount of people who's like, he can't rap. It makes no sense to me. Like, this man can't rap. Like, can't rap. Like, he rapping against the best rapper in the world right now in front of the whole world. How can he not rap? That makes no sense. So I appreciate you, Stat, for just admitting what I feel is the obvious.
I know he can rap. Yeah. He's nice.
I don't understand people saying
nice. Y'all cannot like the content. Y'all can say that it's you can say that you're not into what he says, or you're not, you can't feel what he's writing. But the ability to rhyme words and the ability his ability to write songs is undeniable. Like, what are we talking about? And you can't. Somebody told me this before. A lot of stuff comes stylistically in hip hop, but the rapping always sells the most. Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Drake, Tyler the Creator. I mean, look at our biggest stars as far as record sales. Those guys all trump even Playboy Cardi. He doesn't sell, they don't sell the records that those guys have sold. Eminem, I'm talking about rap trumps anything stylistically that people be doing. It just had Lil Wayne, all of the guys that I'm mentioning have done significantly better than people that just are doing some kind of style that's not necessarily that we can say that's just like some straight up hip hop shit. Am I tripping?
I don't know. I look, I'm a diehard Bone Thugs fan, and in the moment when I was listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony in the era, it just felt like the the illest, deepest thing in the world. But as I've grown and I listen to, and I'm not saying this as a shot, these are just reasons why I appreciate it. Especially when you compare A$AP Rocky to Bone Thugs and Harmony. Bone, to me, is a style group too. If you really listen to, Creeping on the Come Up, if you really listen to East 99, and the large, let's say 19 of the 24 songs or 23 songs off of The Art of War, most of the variations or the reasons they sound different is style reasons. Their perspective is pretty consistent. Murder, marijuana. They will give you a Crossroads, they'll give you a family, Mo Thug's family reunion here and there, but there's a whole bunch of life that they ain't talking about. They ain't got no girlfriends as far as we could tell. They don't go to no strip clubs. They don't go on no dates. They ain't get no vacations. They ain't got no mansion. Like there's a whole life that you don't hear nothing about, but everything sounds different because stylistically they're so fresh in the space, and then all four of them have their own variation of the Bone Thug sound. So it feels more dynamic, but I actually think of them as style mavens too.
Do you think are they even in the category? That's something Lils can look at as far as sales is concerned. Have they sold as many records as the guys I'm talking about? I know not Eminem, Drake, Kendrick.
Well, they're on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, so that's one thing they got. Let's see how many.
You can pay for that, just so you know.
But I think you have to hit a threshold. Like
I think
can pay for
Bob
that,
the Builder up there, dog. They got Bob. When I found out you could pay for it, I was like, I'm cool. It ain't even no thing no more.
According to Gemini, they've sold over 16 million certified, which means they're probably around 20 million or so. Or they said reaching an estimated 25 to 30 million units globally.
Okay, so who's the bottom tier? J. Cole. How many records has he sold? Because I would say that's the bottom tier. Maybe Tyler, the Creator. Maybe Tyler. He probably outsold Tyler.
Let's see. Lifetime.
Sorry,
Global
Mark. I know we're
equivalent
supposed to be talking about
sales.
Relapse. Huh?
It's all good, man.
Global equivalent sales, 50 million units, says Gemini.
Okay, so they can't fuck with him. What about Tyler, the Creator? That's probably where they at. Tyler ain't sold 20 million records.
Well, I mean, look, you have to grade some of this on a curve. Like, it's 50 million album equivalent sales, the same thing as actually 30 million actual sales, for the most part. Because these guys are coming up in the streaming era, so.
Yeah, it's true. It's on a curve. You're right. It's definitely different to get in your car and go buy a CD than it is to just play something and get a sale.
And Tyler's around 33 million global equivalent album units.
Nice.
So I think it's a little tough to do.
I love Bone Thugs and Harmony, just so you know. And as stylistically as they are, but I always thought they was nice, though.
They are. But
that's
where I see where Mark's coming from and where a lot of people who are fans of A$AP are coming from. Like, if you really appreciate the style, like, that can be enough. Like, everything sounds fly if it's delivered the right way. It's like half is what you say and half is the style. You know what I'm saying?
Stove God Cooks.
Yeah,
I love them.
Me too.
I love Stove God, dog. And to me, that's what I'm saying. It's not like I'm just saying that A$AP ain't. I'm talking about it's a level to this style shit. Like Stove God, you know what I'm saying? West Side Gun, it's levels to this style shit, dog. And I'm just trying to say, even on the style side, Mark, even on the style side, dog, you really tell me if I put Stove God on and A$AP and we go verse for verse or hook for hook, the Stove God shit gonna be more interesting. West Side Gun. The Louis Lava, the Tutti Tappa, Beastie Boys. Let's just go all the way back. Beastie Boys.
Right.
They run the job. Shit so go by. My pussy on Broadway. This shit don't stop. Like, dog, what? Come on, bro. I'm down. Listen, Mark. Listen, bro. We've been around, baby. You can't just hit me with that A, B, C, D. You can't do that to me, dog. No way. Not happening, sir.
Word up. You're tuned in live right now. The Third Verse Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. live right here on the Third Verse Podcast channel. Special guest of the day, the one and only Mark Batson is here today, talking about style and Old Dirty Bastard and A$AP Rocky. And to me, one of my favorite projects that he has worked on and was at the core of crafting, Eminem's Relapse. Eminem's Relapse. Let's drop a gong for the congregation for Eminem's Relapse.
So Mark, to get into the relapse conversation, I want to set it off and then let Justin get his, because he's get his journalist on. But I want to get this started. So how did it even come about from your perspective of you guys working on the project? And did y'all have an album title from the beginning, like, or did that just come later on?
I think originally the album was, he had a conceptual title of King Madness, I believe was the name of the album. And he had some ideas, but he was coming out of the drugs. He was coming out of Proof had just died. There's a lot of things. So he was in the studio with his original team, and they had this concept, King Mathers, that they started on. And then he cut a couple songs, and then he walked away from that. And then he came and met with Dre while we was working with Dre, and then Dre agreed to come down and help him out. So we set out, like Dre came and called the crew up and said, y'all want to block out 2 months? You know what I'm saying? Everybody block out 2 months. We're going to work with him wherever he is. You know what I'm saying? And then during that time, he refound his voice, being able to say he wanted to tap into this serial killer, it's like telling these stories, and he tapped into that vibe during the months that we worked with him to make the album.
That's interesting. I feel like that was a rumor at the time. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that confirmed, that King Malice actually turned into Relapse.
Yeah, I think that was the discussion when we first started. There was a working title, but that was scrapped. Even the whole team was scrapped, and he came to Dre to ask for help, to say, like, you know what, I'm trying to find my voice. I'm working with this, and even when we worked together, I believe even on the Encore, I can't remember exactly, but I believe it's on the album that he had literally flatlined in the hospital. You know what I'm saying, when he when he overdosed. So he used to come to the studio, and it was kind of like therapeutic to try to find his voice. And he just described the experience, you know what I'm saying, of trying to withdraw, you know what I'm saying, off drugs when they can't give you pain medications, because that's what you're addicted to. You know what I mean? So you just kind of got to fight that out to the point where your willpower just got to be like, I'm never doing it again. And at that point, he went from the drugs to running running on the treadmill. So I think at that point he was running like 15, 17 miles a day to get himself back in focus. And so we were in the studio, and then Shay was in the studio with us.
Shay Pope, shout out to Shay Pope.
Shay Pope was in the studio, and then Marshall came to the studio. He was like, he stopped the room. It was me, Shay in there, Dre, maybe one or two other people. And he was like, yo, man, I just gotta tell you, I'm really trying to find my voice again, because I always wrote records when I was high. You know what I mean? I always wrote everything I did up to this point, was when, I was kind of, get high, partying, and all that kind of stuff. And then Shay stops, like, I'm not gonna be able to help you with this one, bro, because I just had a beer for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? So we over there. You know what I'm saying? We all the way over there at that point. So this progresses. We're not supportive. You know what I'm saying? We are not the supportive people that's hiding. We're not hiding alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Like, at that point, I think the crew is drinking every day in the studio. It kept that point when we came to work. They had a bar set up when we walked in to work at 1 o'clock. But where
were y'all working at?
When we first climbed into the Relapse, I want to say we went to Detroit first.
Okay.
And then we eventually went to Orlando.
Okay.
And then we worked in Orlando because Marshall wanted to take his kids to work and take the kids to the park, and do family stuff.
Y'all stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, right?
Can't remember which hotel we stayed at. Just first identifying to everybody that the way Marshall works is very 9 to 5-ish style.
Yep.
Like, he's a very family oriented dude. So like, he'll come in, like if he's coming in at 10 o'clock, he'll work from 10 to 6. If he's coming in at 11, it's 11 to 7. It's it's 5 days a week. he does it like a job. He's coming in super focused, and then a super family man after that. You know what I'm saying? Like a real, like, at the time he was raising, who was on Relapse, three kids. He had three daughters he was raising at that time. You know, he had adopted and all of that. So he's just trying to find whatever his voice is. And I always feel when I listen to the Relapse album, I feel like the Relapse album is somehow encompassing the fears that you have of death, the fears of that whatever those fears are, it's horror because when you face death and you face losing your family, losing your kids, you lose your best friend. There's a lot of fear and anxiety and pain and struggling with drug addiction and coming out of drug addiction. I think that album he turns it into one big laughing matter. You know what I'm saying? Like when people listen to Relapse, they think that he's saying these raps because they're mean, they're angry raps. But what they don't realize is that he thinks this is comical. This is his comedy. This is the way he expresses himself in the comedic fashion. You know what I mean? So it's a way, when I'm listening to the record, I hear whatever fears he has or whatever insecurities or whatever, death, destruction, prison, all the bad things that can happen, or the things that's happening around him, that he's taking it and putting it into poetry on that album. And that's why I always see that, like, it's kind of has a comical twist to it, like Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart, which is what I always compare the album to. And I think making that album led him to making I'm Not Afraid, which on the following album, which was the first single, was that, he dropped all that fear and all of those feelings and emotions onto that project.
A little shameless plug, DJ was managing Boy Wonder at the time, and I remember when DJ gave that Not Afraid beat to Paul for Marshall. And I remember when DJ played me the song, I called Boy Wonder, and I said, "Dawg, go buy an airplane. It's over with." I said, "Go buy a plane, baby. You gone." You know what I'm saying? Same shit I told Top when he played me Doechii and I heard Kendrick for the first time. I said, "Go and get you a 747, baby." You know what I'm saying? Or when we heard SZA, I was like, "Man, go and get you another bird in the sky, big dog." You understand me?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
It's interesting to hear you describe it as this was a comedic moment, like dark comedy for him in that regard.
Yes.
Is that where some of these the accents that came from? Because I remember those were it's ambitious, it was risky, and it was also very polarizing. Was that part of M's comedy, or what he thought might be funny as he returned to putting out albums?
Well, so to get to that, I'll just start with the fact that when the album was released, when you as a producer, when you work on the album, you feel like it's all on you. You know what I mean? Like, if the song performs well, the album performs well, then you standing there, everybody's has the glass tipped up. But if the album doesn't perform well or doesn't strike well, then you feel like you got to take it all on yourself. So when the Relapse album had came out, I felt like it didn't. I didn't feel like it had the impact that I wanted it to have, even though it won Best Rap Album. Whatever. It wasn't like, if I couldn't pass the Marshall Mathers LP or any of those records, and I felt like, like maybe I didn't do a good job. So certain albums of my life, I feel I describe it as going home and putting the covers over my head, and that was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just go home and just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to talk to nobody right now. So I blame myself for some of the musical choices or things that happen. And for as far as the accents, I saw them when it started happening, because when we came to the studio, every time we came to the studio, it was always full of weed smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had there, and then I had it back then. I used to wear Jamaican Rasta caps in the studio, and then every time Marshall walked in the studio, the first thing he would say was, "A little bit of the ganja, a little bit of the ganja," right? And then, so then when he said that, I feel like that was just, he was saying it was like a Jamaican, he was saying like a kind of Jamaican joke. But then I started hearing that voice on the records, So when people hear it, there's also like a strong connection between Jamaican patois and Irish. I don't know if y'all know that the Irish people came to Jamaica, I think, in the late 1800s or something, and their dialect, a lot of the dialects that you hear of Jamaican patois are very close to Irish. They do a lot of similar things. If you listen to an Irish person talk and listen to a Jamaican person talk, they do things with letters, like they pronounce the T's the same way and a lot of things like that. So when the album came out, it sounded like a little bit of Irish accent, but I felt like it was Jamaican, and it was my fault. You know what I'm saying? Because it was we created a Jamaican type Rastafarian type vibe in there, and and maybe that's what it was. He did, in the end, in the long run, a lot of fans was like, we don't really like the accents. We hate the accents. The accents is terrible. And later on, he also said, I think I went too far with the accents or whatever, or he kind of like did, kind of abandoned it. You know what I'm saying? Abandoned the record itself and say, okay, this is definitely not my favorite album. But this thing happens again. I've had 3 experiences in making albums that I had to put the covers over my head, being one of them. The second one was Dave Matthews album I made, and then the third one was Jay-Z Kingdom Come. Each one of those albums, because you're working with like super legends and you're not making it even close to their best album. But I found now over time, which has given me solace, that over a 10-year period, then people start discovering the accents or why he did this, or see how he used the accents to change flows. In order to make words rhyme, he was using the accents as to trick or whatever. And then now Relapse has a cult following of people. Like the people who love the album, they love the album, and they rank the album in his top 3 albums ever made. So I appreciate that. It was different. It was creatively different. But sometimes that creatively different, awkward thing in the long run winds up being some of the artist's best work. You know what I'm saying? Because it stands aside, from their classics. So that there are 1 or 2 classics that you'll never beat. But they'll be like, yeah, but this one was different. This one, he found a whole new lane and tried something different. And so that kind of, for all those 3 albums that did that for me, whether it be Dave Matthews Band, it created a whole new lane, a whole new vibe that they kind of playing like these hip hop theme songs on stage. And even with Jay-Z, like Lost Ones is considered to me one of the best records Jay-Z ever wrote, one of the most emotional songs that he ever recorded on. 30 something, like most quotable records, of one of the
I love that song. I still love that song.
When he say, y'all respect the ones who got shot. I see people outside. I see people with I respect the shooter shirts on in the street. You know what I'm saying? So when you have songs you made, and you see people wearing them on shirts, or you see them have carved the name of the song into their flesh or the words of the song into their body, then you feel like, okay, that was impactful. So that's just to say that in the long run, Relapse is probably the most impactful album that I've ever worked on, ever made. It's had the longest impact, the most impact on fans, the most loyal, like people dressing from the album and bottling themselves. There's a young lady online. She called herself the Relapse Queen. She's the Relapse Queen. So she every year when the album come out, she do a whole photo spread showing the clothes, whatever. Shout out to the Relapse Queen. I really appreciate it. Things like that make me feel like, okay, in the long run, this really turns out to be something really impactful that touched people's soul. And this is another shocking thing, and I just want to say to y'all before we drift away from this, is that when we recorded, there's a song I recorded with our album we worked on with Eminem called Encore. And and you have these edgy songs.
You see, hold on, time out. You see Mark talking about it's an album we worked on with Eminem called Encore. This nigga talk about it like he talking about it like it ain't one of greatest shit that ever come out. Hey, yo, your ass is crazy, nigga.
Hold on. You didn't even get, again, it's an album we worked on. Again, it's not his biggest album. You know, it's not his biggest album. You know what I mean? It's not his biggest album. But you think about the songs and the songs impactful, how songs impact people. Because there was a time when I was like, when I was younger, I was just like, we need to make positive music that has a good effect on people. I worked with Arrested Development then. I worked with India Ari then. I was making like positive albums so I could be like, I want to be positive and have a positive effect on people. So this lady came to my house who's very talented, and she said that she had a suicide episode where she attempted to take her life, and she said, but profoundly, the record that brought me out of it was Encore, and then she said, and then and then in my mind, I'm thinking when the album first dropped, the first song on it is Evil Deeds, you know what I mean? Which is what I love that record. Father, forgive me because I know not what I do. You know? Yeah. And I'm saying this is the records that blessed her and saved her life. Yeah. So when you're making music, you can't really say whether you're making negative or positive music or in that theory zone of of the people. You know what I'm saying? Stat, you understand what I'm saying? Like there's people who are positive rappers, like there's Common or people who will make songs that are community conscious and all those things. You can never say if you're making the song that will have the most uplifting effect on people. There's been some discussion about that lately with songs and lyrics and how they affect the community, where this song that we wrote for this young lady saved her life. So I was so thankful that I didn't fall into I'm not making this kind of music or I'm not making that kind of music. I just let the universe just work through me, God work through me to make whatever music that presents itself for me to make, and then let the people take it and use it the way that they will.
Well, I'm thankful that you made the records on Encore, because a lot of those was the singles. And I was on the Encore album, and I wouldn't have been able to be on there if you didn't do what you did. So shout out to you. Shout out to you for doing what you did again. But I just want to say this too, outside of, we're going to go back to Relapse. I just want to tell you my 3 favorite beats. I just want to get this off real quick. Because I didn't tell you this last time. Yeah. But that motherfucking Get You Some.
Get You Some.
That's
awesome. That record, a monster. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's me and Dre's best beat. That's our best. That's our number one.
And you know, it's another one that I love. And me and you was dancing to this shit.
Yeah.
That Cocaina.
I love that. I love that. I think I said that to you because there's a flow that Busta Rhymes uses that Kendrick uses later, and I'm like, what song is that?
Doc got a lot of Busta. He channels a lot of Busta. Y'all gotta fuck with my boy B Rhymes. B Rhymes gonna come on the show, but Doc got a lot of Busta in there, dog. That's why that was Look Over Your Shoulders when it was he wanted to get that Kendrick feature. Kendrick did, and I have a problem with going to do that with Busta because I mean he's definitely been influential. But that Cocaina and surprisingly that 30's the new 20.
Love it.
Because let me tell you why. Because it was a batch of beats that y'all was making upstairs in Hawaii.
Yeah. And
y'all was trickling them downstairs. Steve B was my engineer, and I was writing to all them songs. And I remember when Jay-Z laid that. And that's when I realized that nigga was so much better than me, like for real. You know, you just be naive as a rapper. You like, yeah, nigga, nobody fucking with me. You know, said I'm the best, nigga. And when I heard that song, and that boy was on that, and y'all the way y'all got it.
That record's crazy.
That nigga Mark at the keyboard swinging, nigga. That nigga Mark was swinging, dog.
That shit was swinging, man. The rhyme on that record is crazy, man. Woo. It's unbelievable. The lyric is so crazy. You know what I mean? Your chick shop at the mall. My chick come back with Bergdorf, coming back with Birkin bags. Your chick is like, what type of purse is that? I was like,
right.
Jay was on there scatting. He was scat, dog.
Yeah.
But Mark, I just remember being downstairs. Oh, we gonna get
Yeah.
back to Relapse. I'm fanning out right now.
Yeah.
But I just remember we was in Hawaii. I just remember being downstairs, and
Yeah.
y'all was cooking upstairs, and yeah, it was supposed to be soundproof, but we was
Yeah.
just down there hearing beat after beat. That shit was. It had to be. Y'all had to do about 6 albums worth of beats, and they just trickled down to different motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Who was in that? It was you, Dre. Who was all there?
It was
I know
me,
Vito was
Dre.
the engineer.
Dewan would be there sometime. Trevor Lawrence was there. Trevor Lawrence. Trey would be there. Trey would be there, and Mike Elizondo. And that was like the interchanging team. I pretty much was there like all the time during that time. And we just kind of just went to the studio every day and just made beat after beat after beat. And at that time, we were still working on Detox. Because when we made, Dre had already kind of started semi-abandoning Detox until we made Higher for Game. And then when we made Higher for Game, it was such a different sound of record. It was such a different thing that that Dre actually comes on the song and says, "Look out for Detox" on that beat, because that beat kind of made him think, okay, maybe I could get back to this and make it. And then again, he never found a body of work that he felt represented what he wanted Detox to be. But at that time, we just cranked out so many beats. And then during those years, I can't even. It's so many beats. I don't even. One day you had the CDs, so you should come to my house one day and just play me them CDs, Stack, because you probably have more of the beats from that time that I have. But the writers who was coming in at that time was Jay-Z was writing, Nas was writing.
It was crazy.
Drake was writing. Drake was coming in writing.
So stop 1 second. Stop 1 second.
I feel like that list was getting really good, by the way. Let's come back to it.
No, we're going to go back to the list, but I want people to hear that. Drake was coming in, working with us, writing. That's what y'all
writing for Detox.
What year is this?
Yes.
I want to say 2000.
I don't know the years, dog, but I was in there writing too. We was all
4 or 5, 2004 or 5.
Yes,
Maybe
he was in there writing for us.
Wow.
4 or 5. Again,
4 or 5 is incredibly early. I don't think people think about.
Did you ever? You came
4 or 5.
when we was in Vegas. You remember when we used to?
Did I? What you talking about?
So when we had the when Dre would rent the have the room, and then we had parties in the Hugh Hefner suite, and that's when I first met Drake. Was when that was. So I want to say that's 2005 or 6. At that time, Drake he's not out there like that. He just a dope songwriter that's coming in to write hooks and beats, rhymes, and all that for Drake. And then it's a bunch of producers working on it, High Tech working on it, DJ Khalil, and then Jay-Z wrote some songs that to this day they never came out, and I'm still like, oh my god,
incredible.
Yeah.
No, hey, listen. I'm gonna just say this, nigga. Hove is nice, y'all. Like,
yes.
Like we can talk about anything you want to talk about, but I'm just telling you, Jay-Z is that motherfucker with that writing shit, and he does it quick with no pen, just getting that. Done. You know what record I hated? You know what record I hated that he put on his album? I could not stand. I remember telling Dre, I hate that Hollywood song. I fucking hate it.
I don't know that song.
I hate it. That's the only song. It's called Hollywood. I think Usher's on it or some shit. It's on the Kingdom Come. It's on the Kingdom Come album. That's the only song that I did not like.
I ain't working on that one.
Dre didn't like it either. He wanted to come off too. But I think Jay got another perspective from some of the ladies. You know what I mean?
Speaking of not liking the record and going back to Relapse, Dre didn't like Crack a Bottle. He didn't like.
He hated that.
He hated it.
He didn't like it at
all.
all.
But now, mind you, there's another song to that beat written by Hayes that's crazy.
Shout out to Hayes.
Rest in peace.
Shout out to Hayes. Rest in peace, Hayes. Wow.
There was a record he wrote to that beat. That's the first time I heard that beat. When it first started, that somebody rapped to it. It was Hayes who did it first, and then Marshall came to write it for Dre. And then when he wrote the verses, he he was saying the Dre verses on the original version, and then somebody stole the record. They bootlegged the record, hijacked it from his computer, and before you know it, the record was like top 5 with him saying the Dre verses on it. And so they had to go back in the studio. Dre cut his verse. 50 came in and cut his verse. Then they re-released it. And I kind of want to say that that's why this was no video, was because I don't think Dre was really feeling, what the song on the whole, the whole way it went down was not. You know how Dre with the music, he wanted packaged, mixed. He want to mix it. He want to present it like, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the Dr. Dre beat, and he'll work X amount of hours, X amount of years for that moment. You know what I mean? And that's what In the Club is. That's years, countless hours, best possible mix. Dre mixing the record. Sometime, when Dre start mixing, he'll start mixing the song. You come to work at 5 o'clock. You come back the next day at 9 o'clock. He's still standing in front of the console mixing the song. You know what I mean? Like working on the hi-hat, the kick drum, all that. And I think In the Club is that record. That's all the combination of work, the best possible single for the artist. No leaks, no rushes, no nothing. He arrived at it then. And I think Crack a Bottle, the whole thing just went really fast because the record was doing so well that we had to really catch up, finish the record, and then put it out.
Word up, that's crazy.
You finish. I gotta run in the bathroom. Go ahead, finish. Talk to him. Don't keep me on.
All right, I want to show people this real quick because this is the track list for Relapse, and just for people who might not have a visual representation of how involved you are in this project, you are listed as a writer on every song except the intro, if I'm not mistaken, except for Beautiful here. And so, I guess, and this other skit here, right? And so, to hear you even really go into, your experience with this, like, I just want people to understand, like, how in this project you are. We have a bunch of super chats. There's a lot of fans here who have questions. Do you mind if we take a look at some of those, Professor? Yeah, let's do that. All right, so. Let's see. All right, here's the first one. This is from Thunder7344. Says, there's an internet theory that the Death of Slim Shady is a remake of Relapse because M didn't like Relapse. Have you heard anything about that?
Absolutely not. That's not the case. That's not the case. He's been moved on from that time. There was a long time that a lot of people wanted a Relapse 2, and that was a big mystery. The mystery of Relapse 2, because we had so many records. But if you really look at it and you look at the whole, he put out the Relapse Refill. So when you really look at that Relapse album, it's not just Relapse, it's Relapse Refill, because it's a lot more songs that we did. And my favorite song beat from that record is Buffalo Bill from that Buffalo Bill. That one and the beat for Stay Wide Awake. And as soon as my flow starts, that's the way the record dropped to me is insane. Like, I love the way the record dropped. But it's a record on there called Buffalo Bill. But he had so many records, and then he had more in store. But then at some point he moved on to when he was making Recovery. Had a lot of different producers on it, and I think we only have, me and Dre had maybe 1 or 2 songs, I think, maybe on that album. But that was our complete body of work, and after that he moved on. So for years, even up to last year, a year before, Paul had to make a statement to say there is no Relapse 2 because people still feel like that record is coming out, which is great to me because that just means there's this true fan loyalty and love for what we did on that album.
Word up. We got the next one from Dawood out in Iraq. Our brother Dawood, how you doing over there, Dawood? He says, excited for the Relapse revisit. Stay Wide Awake is insane on a technical level. Internal rhyme schemes on top of internal rhyme schemes. There must be enough material for Relapse too. Tell us the truth. And I think you just covered it, right? People really want that.
They want Relapse too, man.
Yeah, they want it.
They want Relapse too, man.
Here's another question that people really have. Can you tell us about Keys to the City? Now, was that part of King Mathers, or was that was? I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the. I think it was a leaked track that was out before Relapse.
I don't know that song.
I think it might be produced by DJ Premier.
I don't know that song. I don't know it. So I couldn't say. I don't know it.
Okay.
Primo record? I didn't even know that Marshall had a Primo record.
Me neither. I didn't know he worked with Cream.
Me either.
Let's see. We got this one. Let's see. Okay, this one here for Examiner says, this for Mark. Did you or Dre ever tell M to chill out with all them accents? Don't get me wrong. It was funny and all that. I was just curious if the combos occurred. Thanks.
Like I said, man, I feel somehow personally responsible for wearing a Jamaican hat. For wearing a Jamaican hat, smoking in the front of leaf at the time. And but it's he he was doing his thing. We didn't you don't really stop. Who stops Eminem from creating? Now every once in a while, Dre will say, hey, you know. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? But as you can hear from the lyrics on the album, nobody was telling this man not to say something. You know? Right. I would come in sometime and he playing the records for me, and I walk in the studio and I'm looking at him like, yo, man, like, and that he doing it like he really doing it like to play with our heads, you know, because he's coming to the studio. You'll understand. He's cracking jokes all day. Like between him and 50 Cent, that will tell you they both need their own comedy show. 50 Cent is probably one of the most epically funny dudes you will ever be in a room with. You know what I'm saying?
Hilarious.
Like he have everybody. He's telling stories, skits, you know, punchlines. Everybody in the room is crying. Your stomach is hurt from laughing. And Marshall is kind of like that. Like there's a lot of jokes and fun and all of that. So we send him over the beat. He over there working in the studio. He cut his lyrics. He's just doing his thing by himself. And then he tells us come back in the studio and then plays Insane. And then I'm like, the first line of the song, you know what I'm saying? He said, I was my brain. My stepfather. I'm like, why you say that? Why do you say that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't understand.
Oh God!
With that look on his face that he know he has said something to get under everybody's skin. And that's his comedy. And you don't get in the way of somebody like that. So if he's doing accents, like look, in the long run, people say the accents, this, that, and the other. But here it is, X amount of years later. People ain't complaining about that no more. They just saying the record was unbelievably good. And it was a character album. You know what I'm saying? He stepped outside of himself for a second and he made an album of a character that to me addressed in his own way of comedy or expressing himself, expressed his worst fears, everybody's worst fears. That's what horror does. You know, you go in the movie theater and then, here comes the thing and it's chasing people and it's cutting their heads off and slicing their head. You're dealing with your own worst fears. It's all human fears. That something like that could happen to you. And you're expressing it. You walk out the movie theater, you feel relief. Horror is like one of the top genres in America right now. You look at even the new franchises that are coming along, Obsession, Backroom, even The Odyssey feels like a horror film at points. It feels like horror. Like people are really in that vibe where they want that relief that you get when you watch horror and you feel like you walk away and you feel a relief that didn't happen to you. So we know that he tapped into that vibe. And my answer to the access is always, when you're in the studio and the creatives are reaching like this kind of zone, and sometimes it might be uncomfortable, sometimes it might be challenging, sometimes it might be different, you got to encourage that because that's going to last longer than if they try to reduplicate what they've done before.
Yo, this Keys to the City song has got people vexed in the chat. They're saying you were on it. Stat, you were on the song?
I don't even know. Do you want me to, first of all, listen.
Keys to the city.
Here's another one. Says you were on the song, Stat.
I just want y'all to know. I just want y'all to know how many songs I have written.
Right.
That first, listen, that Hawaii trip alone with Mark that I'm referring to, we went a couple of times, but that one trip, I've never written so many songs in one period of time. I think I wrote well over 160 songs while I was out there.
Wow.
We gotta have Steve B on here because that's when Steve B told me that he recorded for Michael Jackson. I was so honored that the engineer that was recording me had worked with Michael Jackson, but they was Mark and them was making so much music upstairs, and I'm getting all the beats this is for everybody. For Jay, I'm getting everybody's beats first because I'm getting the rap on all of them.
Yes.
When it rains, it pours. That 50 Cent song. Dun, 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 dun.
Crazy.
You remember that joint? Come on, Mark.
Oh yeah, that's Saying Elizondo. That's one of my favorite records, and the rap on it. Oh my God.
50 was on that bitch scatting.
Oh
man,
I don't trip. I barely even feed it. To say I'm stingy, I say I don't need you.
I don't need you.
Go ahead and leave. See if I
Hey!
chase you. Shit.
Word up.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Justin. One of my favorite lines. She say I'm stingy.
I'm stingy.
I love that. This is another one right here. Talk about unreleased tracks, Beating Up the Block and Keys to the City. Do anything about Beating Up the Block?
I don't know. Beating Up the Block. This Keys to the City, I'm just seeing it for the first time. I just looked in the Google. I see it. It is a primo record.
Yeah.
And they say it was intended to be the lead single for King Mathers.
Yeah.
Before he went to rehab.
Right.
And who the hell put me on it? What I got to do with it?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Okay.
I know there's a bunch of unreleased songs that were never released that we made. Songs that were finished by Marshall. There were songs he finished, but it's been so long. Yeah.
Word up. Shout out to Musa, says, depending on the day, Relapse is my favorite M album. The horror soundscape married to the lyrical absurdity is insane. Underground, a perfect closer.
Nice. Well, again, I appreciate that. Like I said, for a record that was released that made me go home and put the covers over my head. That made me question what I was doing. For it to wind up being a classic is so awesome for me. Time is could be a good angel.
Shout out to OO. He says, I originally hated the album at 16, but at 21 it clicked. I love the album. The last classic album from M, in my opinion.
Wow. That's what I'm saying. I think that's the best thing for any producer, musician, everything, is if a record can evolve over time and people start to really get it, kind of absorb it over time. That's really, to me, one of the best compliments of any production is getting better with time. I think, especially now in the age of disposable music, you know what I'm saying? When people are like devouring music and just throwing it away. If you just say like, wow, we released this almost 20 years ago, and it took him 5 years to go like, man, that record was crazy. Then 10 years, he probably was like, oh my God, that's one of his best albums. I think that's a great sign for production. Yeah.
I agree with that. Shout out to our brother Rory Bateson over here. Incredible artist for you too, by the way. He's a painter, does visual arts. I've got some a piece of his that he did for me here at the crib. He's always telling me to let people know that if they need custom art done, he's open to doing it. He's really, really talented. So I'm just putting that on you guys' radar. But he says, can confirm the Irish-Jamaican deep language connection. One of my best friends is Jamaican, and we laugh about this all the time. Also, shout out to Batson. Close enough name for me.
Nice.
His last name is Batson. But he is Irish. Yeah, he is Irish, by the way.
It is definitely a connection. When you talk to Irish people in Ireland, that's when that first hit me. I was in the bar in Ireland. I was in the bar the night that Tyson fought somebody, and then he got off. He finished the fight and was like, "My style is impetuous.
Oh wow!
I want to get Lennox Lewis, and I want to eat his children, and everybody.
I want to step on his kids' testicles.
the boom, but everybody sounded Jamaican when they roll it. I said, "Oh, I got to research this."
Shout out to our brother Marcos over here. Marcos Dorado says, I remember going to buy Relapse on my lunch break. I still love that album and still listen to it. In my opinion, it's a literal showcase of why he's top tier, a true wordsmith. Thanks for sharing.
Wow.
Yeah, and even let's take a minute to just talk about the wordplay on the album, because to me, 3 a.m. is sometimes when people have like fast and complex flows, it's real interesting for me to hear. Like Logic does that a lot, and then he's doing like some really intricate things, and it's real fast. But when you could find like this cadence that swing in a certain way and the hit, Nas to me is the master of that. Like he'll have like a simple cadence. Him and Biggie will do these simple cadences and that tricks with that flow. And 3 a.m. to me is one of the best rap flows to me for any Eminem record. Period.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? The way he leaned into that thing and he just keeps going, and what he keeps saying after that, I'm just like,
that song is incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
If y'all ain't heard 3 a.m. off Relapse, y'all need to go pull that up immediately while this shit is on. Just just turn it down low and listen to us talk. He's on that motherfucker. Get off.
Crazy.
Rock that record. Yeah.
Shout out to Fan Thomas. Fanto says Batson Brothers have 2 classic LPs. One Get Set, VOP, Hip Hop R&B. Yeah. Hybrid. Second LP is Hendrix Tribute, done on 3 pianos with legendary Jerry Allen. Go get them.
Yes, indeed. We have. It was my first album. I had just got out of college. I did not understand anything about the record business and how to craft singles. And so I went to the studio with my brother. We had got signed. We wanted to make like this positive music, going back to the positive thing, was very musician heavy, but the records were not crafted for radio at all. I just didn't understand it. And we made, to me, like anybody who has the album now, a very beautiful album called Voice of the Project that we made on Polydor Records. That was my first record. It didn't do well at all. And what I learned from that is working with alternative artists and helping them find a way to craft singles, for if they're so different than what everybody's making. So when I got to India Ari album, I could go, okay, this is how we're gonna craft things to make you successful. But the album is still beautiful for me to listen to, and I appreciate anybody who listens to it. And then my first album that I was contracted to do was the Jimi Hendrix estate paid for myself, my brother, and one of the greatest living pianists at that time named Jerry Allen to play Jimi Hendrix songs in a piano trio. It's a beautifully abstract album, and those were my first 2 albums. So I appreciate you seeing this early work, because those were the inspirations. Taking the bumps and bruises from making those albums helped me to be not only the producer I am, songwriter I am today, but also helped to guide other artists how to become successful when they're so different and creative.
I haven't heard those first. I haven't heard the Batson Brothers, by the way.
Yes.
Is it on streaming, or do you have to?
The album is called Get Set VOP. It's not on streaming. I think somebody uploaded it to YouTube recently. Okay. And then that the Triad album, I think, is available. The piano album is available, probably on streaming, I think. Yeah.
Well, that's what's up. We got another one here from Anon. Says, tell us about Insult to Injury.
What is that?
These are all the unreleased tracks that were coming out. I think,
again, like I said, if it's not released, 9 times out of 10, I don't remember. Insult to Injury, Eminem. A freestyle. Did I work on that?
I'm not sure about the track, but I know Anand's got all the. Where'd this one come from? Where's this one? That question is, you know what I mean? So
I know I worked on. Go ahead, Stat.
You got so many songs, because the one just came across. It's a record that we've been talking about. It's the heavily, the Dead People record.
Dead People.
The Game.
One
Somebody
Blood.
just asked that.
One Blood, and then the other, the Jesus Piece one.
Yeah. All I see is
dead people.
All I see is dead people. Me and Game did it.
I can't remember it. So every once in a while, people start playing
I think you
these
did.
records from
I think
games.
you did do. I think you did do it. It's you and Dre for sure.
What's it called? Dead People.
Dead people. That's how many.
That was a
That's how many.
that was a big discussion over the past 2 weeks.
Exactly. You
Because
didn't even know you was in the news.
I was on there.
did you see the conversations around Game thinking that Kendrick opening Not Like Us with "Psst, I See Dead People" was a shot at him?
That Kendrick said that?
Well,
Game
thought that was a shot at him. You know, you missed this past 2 weeks, Mark? Okay.
I missed that one, man.
Okay, man. Okay. We'll come back around to it. I do want to make sure these people
I saw where y'all
that
said
there's a question.
that Top said that Kendrick was done with Game after the 100
100 video.
After that video.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
That's awkward, man. If somebody, if I'm beefing with somebody and they bring them in my neighborhood to make a record and they standing there and they all flagged up, I would feel awkward too.
But what but Game's rebuttal, because I talked to him this morning, was when Kendrick went to go do work on Power with 50, Game didn't say nothing about that.
I understand.
Okay. So that he was like, so.
But going on a TV show is one thing, but going in your neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? That's more of a family thing. You know what I mean? That's more of a family thing. But then again, like I said, if Game was in a Drake video, maybe Kendrick would have still felt the same way about it. So, who knows?
Yeah. I have to always throw that rebuttal out there now because I want to make sure that both sides get that shit out of
You're right.
Get out.
That makes sense.
It's an interesting wrinkle. It's an interesting one. Yeah, because it's something I never even really considered, to be honest. But I say it all the time. Los Angeles is the most territorial place I've ever lived, and not even just within hip hop or within gang culture, but just generally speaking. I think a huge reason we have the homelessness problem we have out here is because everything is so territorial. We are NIMBY'd out. Not in my backyard. Everybody wants to fix homelessness, but nobody wants affordable housing in their neighborhoods. Right. Everybody wants LA to figure it out, but that does not include West Hollywood, Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, whatever. The whole place is like that, right? So, from this is just a territorial place perspective, I can kind of see it. I can kind of see where Gabe's coming from.
Hey, listen, you know what the craziest thing about people, all of us do this. And when you read the chats of these conversations, man, we can't tell these people how to feel.
You're right.
I can't, like Game told me how he felt. I can't tell him how to feel. That's how he felt. I gotta respect how he felt. Doc feels how he feels. I can't tell Doc how to feel. People feel how they feel. But what we gonna do on this show is we gonna make sure that we express the feelings of the people that we connected to, so that they feel like both sides are being discussed and no one's being slighted in any type of way. So I would like for anyone clipping me to please get both sides of the coin, heads and tails, because heads and tails got my phone number and they gonna call me. And I'm just trying to tell y'all.
Well, you're getting clipped already. You're clipped already. We're clipped already, just so you guys know. There's multiple clips going around on Twitter right now as the show goes on. So shout out to the Clippers.
There it is. Shout out to the Clippers, please.
Mark, I wonder if you could shed some light on this too, because I was curious about this as well. Is it true that Antichrist from the Death of Slim Shady was from Relapse?
No, it wasn't. There was a song that was from that time that was on Music to Be Murdered By, that was from that time. It was a song with 50 Cent. That there was a single and they made a video to it. But that's more current. That's I think that Dre did that, right? I think that's the ICU team on that record. And it's not a record from Relapse.
Gotcha. Word up. Yeah. Word up. What did you think about the Joe Strange situation?
Oh my God. I mean, the most terrible thing about it is that there's two brothers. There's Joe Strange and Mike Strange. Mike is Eminem's daily engineer for everything. Joe was more or less Mike's assistant. So like Mike's in there every day, and they have like a procedure, like they really have to lock down the music to make sure it doesn't get stolen. Like, so every day after the sessions, there's a whole, like, we finish and we could have been working for X amount of hours. In the end of Mike's day is wrapping up the drives, whatever, taking everything, pulling everything out. You don't know if somebody's gonna try to break in the studio at night, snatch the drives, or whatever. It's to secure the music. So I feel it's really terrible that Joe, we found out Joe had stole some of the music and sold it. And apparently Joe had came into hard times for whatever reason that may be. But I think he did not only a disservice to Marshall, he did a disservice to his whole family by his brother really holding down like the top slot. And then actually, it's not just stealing from Marshall, he stole from his brother as well. And I think it was absolutely terrible to just take this music and then not knowing that how easy it is to find out that somebody sold something. He must be in a really bad way. So hopefully for him that he gets whatever help that he needs or whatever he to get over that. But I just think it was a terrible disservice to not only Marshall, not only the music industry, and you got to think, like, when you have Eminem songs, the value of the songs themselves. So if you leak 10 songs, you could be leaking something that's worth $30 million. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? You could be leaking something that's worth who knows how much money. So, and for what, 10 grand, 20 grand that he got for it? So it was a terrible disservice to music, terrible disservice to Marshall, terrible disservice to Shady Records, terrible disservice to his brother and his family, and terrible disservice to his own family and kids, because now he got to go to jail. So it's bad all around.
For people who are listening and may not be watching, Joe Strange, also known as Joe Strange, it's actually kind of funny that Gemini did that, a 46-year-old former studio engineer for Eminem, was federally charged in March 2025 with criminal copyright infringement and interstate transportation of stolen goods for allegedly stealing and selling unreleased music and handwritten lyric sheets.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Terrible.
We just talked about this here. It says, did you work on Dead People by the Game, and was that beat made during the Relapse sessions?
Can't remember.
This is the one that Stat just talked about. But
yeah, I can't think of the song. There's some Game song that I've been hearing that they say that he played, like, it's not on the record, but he plays it like in the background on the record. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the beat for that. I know I worked on that, and that record is crazy. But I can't remember the name of it. But they never released it as a song. I don't think they could play the song from Dre.
Gotcha. We got this one here from OO. Says, sorry for so many statements, but man, I've been a huge fan of M before I could even understand English. When M just started flowing and started rhyming as Yoda in Buffalo Bill, I lost my mind.
Buffalo Bill. I remember when I first heard. It's this awesome thing of being working in music as a producer, is that, people have these magic moments in music when they first bought. People like, I remember when I first heard such and such song. I remember when I first went to the store and I bought this album from the past, or somebody say, I was walking outside and somebody drove past and they was playing this record and I Shazammed it, and I remember that first moment, And for me, my first moments are when the person first cut the record or first rapped it and came and played it for me, or when I cut the vocal myself. These times are the first moments. And I remember when I first heard, when you make a beat, you never know what artist to beat what beat the artist gonna pick to rap. You might make 5, 6 beats in that day, maybe 6, 7 beats, whatever. They got this tape now, it's got 30 beats on it. You don't know what they're gonna pick. So then he comes back in and then played that Buffalo Bill, and it was like, that beat is so, that's New York for me. That, for me to be a New Yorker, that's my most New York Eminem beat. That's my most New York Eminem beat is Buffalo Bill. And then M Security at that time was this dude named Box. And Box was big dude.
Shout out to Box, man.
Shout out Box, man. Shout out to my dude Box. 7 feet tall, man. It's a big dude. And I remember Box came in. And Box used to be the security at the tunnel in New York. You know what I mean? So, like, and and he was the security for the tunnel in the day. You know what I mean? Where you really had to. It was a lot of work being security at a club like that. And then Box came in from being from in New York and knowing I'm from New York. It just came in. It was just like Buffalo Bill, and that record to me. I remember that moment first hearing it, and it's my favorite, one of my favorite beats for Eminem, but the most New York of all of the beats that we ever made, worked with, songs made together.
That's dope. That's great insight right there.
Yeah.
Anon's back. He said, did Eminem have a relapse version of Murdered and Murderers Before Premonition?
I don't know.
We're in super fan territory, guys.
These guys. You unfolded a layer that's beyond my onion.
Right. We're getting into we're getting into gotta ask M territory next.
Yeah, we got to ask him. First, we get him on the phone.
Kill the Dummy says, thoughts on Fact? Any unknown facts from that era? Fact.
It's this ridiculous record that's so funny. And you sometimes you don't know the impact is because I got a record like that record right there is it turned into this like real classic kind of moment, but it is hilarious. My record that I didn't understand like for that was what's that record? Big Weenie.
Oh, I love that one so much.
When he came back in and Marshall had Big Weenie, I was like, oh no, man.
You didn't like Big Weenie?
It wasn't my kind of song. Like if I was to say, like what I'm gonna put on, from him, there's a lot of classic records from Marshall that I put on. One of them is to me for all time is Marshall and Busta Rhymes going head up, bar for bar, and Calm Down.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like I don't even know how we even got there. That record wasn't it for me. But then I think it was a couple years back, they sped it up on TikTok, and it became the #1 single on TikTok.
That's crazy.
The Big Weenie record, the sped up version of it. And then when I saw so many people rap the opening to it, then it made sense to me more than when I first heard it, which I was just like, I don't know, like I'm not sure if that's the one, but people love it. But the Fact record is like that too. It's this piece of music that is weird and awkward and funny, and that song has its own cult following unto itself.
Given all the obstacles that M got past leading up to Relapse and through the release of Relapse, I mean, you're talking loss of proof. You're talking about him almost dying. This is. For M fans, for us M fans, that was a very traumatic time, very scary time in Eminem history. And I personally felt like, I was incredibly excited that he was coming back. I was incredibly excited that Relapse was on the way and that he seemed to be in a better place. Do you know if there was a feeling of just exhale or a feeling of accomplishment at the immediate conclusion of Relapse when you guys finished it, perhaps even before it came out? Did it feel like that was like a big hurdle for M and everybody to get past, or was it just another album at that point?
I was ecstatic when the record was done because, like I said, the first question they asked, somebody asked me for the New York Times, and they said, well, what do you think about the album? And I think the first answer that I said is it's the hip hop version of the Telltale Heart. It's like an Edgar Allan Poe album. It's like that intense. And so my idea was, I thought people would get that on release day. You know what I mean? I thought day one that everybody would go, oh, that's what that was. So there was not only a relief, there was an excitement that I was about to drop an Edgar Allan Poe style hip hop album with the greatest rapper in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm right there with Eminem at the drop, and then it kind of didn't drop like that. It didn't have the impact. It didn't have the impact that Recovery had, because Recovery had I'm Not Afraid, and he had this huge record. I Love the Way You Lie was on that, like these huge, humongous records. But the record was nominated won Best Rap Album, which was huge for me. But it was also kind of this feeling like we didn't really nail it. We didn't really nail surpassing what he had done in the past. But in time now, I would definitely say that we achieved something with that album that stands out from the rest of his catalog. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like other Eminem albums. It sounds like that moment, and I'm more happy with the long term results of the album than I was at the short term results.
Word up. Word up. It looks like we have the last one here. It's from Grim Rex says, Mark, in 2007, Bishop Lamont said you were going to hook up Nas and do a song together. Did they ever make anything or no?
We did not make that album, and that was my fault. I eat that one totally. I was wilding at that particular time, and and Nas came. Nas was gonna come stay at my house, and now, mind you, Nas telling the story of coming to my house totally different than what happened, because Nas said that he knocked on my door. And I came downstairs and I opened the door with a silk robe on. I had a silk robe on. And then I had like 20 women in the house. It looked like the Playboy Mansion. And I had a silk robe. And when I see Nas, I said, Nas, I don't even have a silk robe, man. I don't even have a silk robe. What are you talking about?
You such a legend and an icon, dog. That's just you're the real Thriller, man.
Right. I was like, it was a little bit. So me and Nas was set up to work around that time. We had talked about it, and he had came, and we were cutting records. So we cut a couple records together. But when we started to get to the session, I was a little bit too. I had too much going on, just my mind wasn't in that kind of place to just settle into it. And so we never got to establish that. But I have in my possession, to me, one of Nas's, it's a legendary written record that only I have. It's called Cheat Hell. So when I come to the house, I'll play it for you.
That's what's up.
It's a monster. It's so well written. I'm looking for a movie. When I find the right movie, I'm gonna put the song in the movie.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And we got this one right here. I think it's actually interesting. Mark, can you name or talk about any of your favorite tracks that didn't make the Relapse album?
I can't really. It's so long ago, and so many records made it onto the album that we talking about. Since that time period, there's been 20 records at least that have been released from that period of time. And so there were pieces in there that I can't really recall unless I hear them and I go, because that's happening to me now. Like there's some records that I made when I was at Aftermath that are been leaked. Like even when they dropped the when the Joe Strange leak came out, there was like a couple songs on that leak that I had produced with Dre that I had no recollection of until I heard them, and I said, oh. I did that record. I remember doing that or doing that record. So I can't really recall unless I hear it.
And we have this one right here. It says, this question is for Mark, but also Stat and Justin. What was your reaction to hearing the second verse of Stay Wide Awake? I don't remember what that verse off top right now. So
first of all, the whole song is extremely violent, mean, violent. It's a horror record. This album is a horrorcore album. It's the most inspirational album. If you look to Tyler the Creator once did an article, and they asked him what was the record that influenced him the most to get to his style, and he says it's that, because the record is fearless. You know what I'm saying? So it's fearless. So inside of that fearless is him also dropping all of his fear. I think horror movies do that. I'll go back and say it again. And that record is a terrifying song with terrifying lyric. The whole lyric is terrifying. The beat is ferocious. That's one of my favorite Eminem beats, and one of my favorite Eminem openings to any song. As soon as it gets the cha 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 cha, and he goes, as soon as my flow starts, I get something like the Ghost of Mozart. When he dropped that at the beginning, it's just that's what we doing. But the record just goes on, and it tells this horrific serial killer story. And I feel like it's some of his best work. It's some of his best picture painting. It's artistically violent, brutal, all of those things. And that's what that album was. That's what the horror that it was. And I think he encompasses or it encapsulates that moment is heavy on that song. But that's when the production, songwriting, all that meets your top horror story, top horror writing of anybody who's ever participated in that genre. I remember RZA had a horrorcore group. Stat, you remember the name of them? What were they called?
I don't remember the name of
the Grave Diggers.
Yeah,
the Grave Diggers, like the who did that. And I think that record right there is possibly the apex of his horrorcore songwriting, meeting a horrorcore Dr. Dre beat, production, all that. It happens on that Stay Wide Awake.
Oh, word up. I mean, those are all the questions we have from the super chats here. You also did a lot of work with NDRE, and NDRE's at she went viral this summer with commentary about that she had for Spin That and how that's probably the song of the summer, at least when you're talking about hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
Have you talked to NDRE about that, and if not, either way, what was your thoughts when you saw that back and forth?
I haven't talked with her personally about it, and what I appreciated from what she said is that people try to say that like India is telling them what to do. It's like when Alicia Keys said, "I'm not going to wear as much makeup, for about a couple months or so," and she said, "That's how I feel. I just don't want to wear." Now people is like, Alicia Keys is on the anti-makeup movement. No, she's not. She's just decided she's not going to wear it. This is her decisions of what she's going to do. So with India, she's specified. Shout out to Stat. You see, I got my Michael Jackson with the grills on right there.
Hey, that's what's up. That's fire. That's fire. Gone for the congregation.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. So for India is she told everyone who responded to a comment, look, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm telling you that this is possibly not good for you in the long run. Like this is possibly not, and there's a lot of music that's not good for you. There's a lot of food that's not good for you that people like to eat. There's a lot of junk food or fried food or whatever things that's going bad for your cholesterols and all of that. But people going to eat what they want to eat. And for me, on a personal level, I think the song is hilarious. You know what I mean? I think it's hilarious. I don't think that she should be singled out for the negative lyric. And we're going to even go back to that original conversation that I was having about the young lady who had attempted to take her life. And should I say I shouldn't have made a song called Evil Deeds? You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean? Like, because I feel evil. There's like, no. I'm working with the artists. This is what they creatively do. And this is how this song has inspired this beautiful woman to live, to go on with her life. So just as much as this song was Song of the Summer, some people might say it's negative. It's talking about boosting. But this is a funny song. When I first heard it, the first thing I did is laugh. And I think that's great when you hear a song and the song is funny. The artist is not going to boost or she ain't going to Macy's to go steal some bags. India just said, watch what you listen to. She says, I watch what I listen to. I'm not telling you what to do. But I feel like, that if I listen to this type of music, it's going to have this type of result. And because she's on the front lines for that, she's the one out there going door to door, telling everybody to be positive, to love each other, to love yourself. She's out there going door to door, selling those songs, talking to people face to face, and taking the weight of that. She's on the front lines for that. So God bless her for doing that, and also for identifying that you don't have to do that. She's not telling you what to do. She's saying this is what she does to make herself healthy. In the same way Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X hated Elijah Muhammad, and he said, "What should I do to turn the people around? What should I tell the people? Well, how can I change them to be more like me?" And Elijah Muhammad said, "Look at this glass." You know what I'm saying? Like if your glass is clean, you're already showing the people what to do. You live your life, and you show people that by you living your life itself. And I think that's what India does. and I have the utmost respect for her for that. And I appreciate her having the conversation. I think the conversation was awesome. I think the conversation was great. It was a huge viral conversation that people had to talk about. What are we ingesting, and what are the long-term results for everybody for what we are ingesting, creating?
That's what's up. That's what's up. Mark Batson.
Brown Skin is such a fantastic record. So I mean, on top of the other joints, but Brown Skin it's timeless, man. So when you create something like that, she can say what the hell she want to say.
And I think about it, like think about that record, because like what record did we have like that? You know, like what record that we had when Brown Skin came out? Like we don't really have a lot of records that salute our brown skin in a world where every time you say dark, it means people have associated darkness with evil. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you go to the movies in Hollywood, you're being programmed. You're being programmed. You sit down in there, and then they say the dark creatures is coming, and the dark things, and the dark times, and the dark. We are dark. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be some connection that the people are having, some kind of a subconscious connection after being programmed so hard that everything dark is evil. So when she came out with Brown Skin and it had the R. Kelly on it, the beat, the band, brown skin, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, oh, I felt it was a real salute to our beautiful brown, darker skin. And we don't have a lot of records like that. We don't have a lot of records that celebrate how we really look, you know what I'm saying? And so shout out to India.
I would say I think she has 2 records in the top 5 of dark skin black songs. I'd say number 1 is James Brown, Black and I'm Proud.
Right.
I will put Brown Skin up there, and then she got the other song, Black Brother.
Right. Oh yeah.
So she's definitely top 5 in celebrating skin tone, skin tone records.
And then when you think like who else is doing that? You know, who else is doing it? And then when you look at the movies, you got to look at the movies, how we program. You got to look like Darth Vader. You know, it's black ass Darth Vader.
The Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages. You got the Predator. That's the big black Jamaican dude running around. You know what I'm saying? You got the aliens and the whole alien when the big black thing come out like it's constantly.
But Mark, guess what? Guess what? We got one thing.
What's that?
Black Friday. We got sales, nigga.
Right.
We got sales. Hey, yo, will you please? I know Mark is here, but I'm gonna answer this while Mark is here. I don't know why these people think I don't want to answer this. It's a super chat about Dance on It. These people going crazy, like you can't lie about this one.
About what is that?
I did a song.
What was the hook for Dance on It?
Okay, so Mark, this is a song where Eminem wrote the chorus. Yeah. And I didn't want to record the chorus because I didn't think it was good. And I told Eminem, if you give me $1 million, then I'll record it. And barged out the studio, and Dre was like, "What the hell did you say that for?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then exactly, and I'm like, I said, "You think he mad?" He's like, "Absolutely, he's upset." And then Dre was like, "I guess we got to finish your album because Marshall's done with you." Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, listen, I think I recorded syllables after that because I just told people today that he had wrote a couple of bars in my rhyme on that song.
Yeah.
And I had already told him that I was not going to lay that hook. So when it came down to, that's just because that's rapper pride. You know what I'm saying? Somebody writing for you. That's really mainly what it was. It was more so that than anything. Yeah. It wasn't that I ain't like his hook. It's just that I still was in my bag. Like, can't nobody write no, you know what I'm saying? But this nigga done sold 1 trillion records. I should have shut the fuck up. So when we did the syllable song and he had some suggestions, I took those suggestions, welcome those suggestions. So to the gentleman that has this super chat, the hook, the beginning of it goes, dance on it, just dance on it, give a fuck how you move, just dance on it. And then some shit, because it's a girl talking about dancing on your dick, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and M had did the beat, and that was so stupid. He was so excited about the song, Mark. He was excited, and it was gonna be my rollout, bro. It was gonna be my single. And my dumb ass, like, man, hey, I'll lay the hook. You give me $1 million, That nigga M was like, what?
Do you know how many times that I've seen and watched artists shoot off both of their feet? Not 1 foot. Shoot both of their feet off. And I'm sitting there like, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand. You know, it's something about being an artist and then finding your way into these deals, and it could cloud the reality of what you need to do. That's how when I first made even my first album that somebody brought in there. So I'm in the studio, right? And so I'm in Atlanta, and so we went to mix the record at what they used to call Stankonia. It's the studio.
Come on, that's my spot. I'm still there.
So that I was in there, and then I had a sign on the door with my brother, and it said, "Do not interrupt." You know, while we mixing. Now, then somewhere on the line, Jermaine Dupri walked in the studio. Now, mind you, Jermaine is Jermaine Dupri. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm sitting there like I got my deal, and I said, "Don't come in the studio." So when he walked in the studio, he stood in the studio. I ain't say nothing. I just turned my head, act like he wasn't even there. And then he turned around and walked away. Years later, I'm like, what a golden opportunity with Jermaine Dupri to walk in on my session in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, at the time also, my manager was Michael Malden, and I didn't know.
It's his dad.
They didn't say that back then. They wasn't going as father and son back then. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, this Jermaine Dupri, this father in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, my music is so dope. I'm so incredible. You know what I'm saying? So I've experienced the shooting myself in the feet as well. And thank God said that's why I said that's what make you an overachiever. Because if you walked out of Aftermath and you because what I'm saying, you walked in like when you signed, you like, I'm about to be with Eminem, I'm about to be with Dr. Dre, I'm gonna be the next 50 Cent. Like, it seems obvious. It's so clear. You know what I mean? There's no way that I am not going to be the 50 Cent of the South. And then when those things don't happen, most people cannot recover. They're crushed. They retreat into themselves, especially because it takes years while you are developing these things before you find out it's not going to work. You know, it's like somewhere in year 4, 5 is when you really realize it. Oh, wow, like this is not going to happen. So for you to have the ability to go through this with Marshall, to go with the thing with Dre, to turn around from that and to become like a music mogul, multi-millionaire, super duper.
Mark, please.
Come on,
don't mention money, man.
That got so much.
Hey, listen, I don't got it. I'm trying to look for it. I don't know where it's at. I don't got a dime. The rumors ain't true. I'm broke as a joke. I don't got nothing. I don't got a dime. Nothing.
I had to borrow these headsets from Dre.
On these, nigga. You know, Dre come to pick these up later. This whole, I ain't got goddamn nothing. I don't got nothing. Please, Mark fucking up the whole shit. I'm about to get letters.
Word up. I think we got a last question here for you, Mark. OO says, what's the process to begin a beat? How do you conceptualize it and such?
Again, everybody who makes beats makes it a different way. So there's no one way to conceptualize making beats. If you want to ask, if we talk about Relapse, how that happens, I could talk about that specifically, you know, if that's good. When we come to the studio with Dre, people always talk about, you'll hear this ridiculous statement that Dr. Dre does not make his beats. And every time I hear somebody say that, it's the most ridiculous thing. I can't imagine that somebody's saying that after all the days I stood next to the man, I came to LA, sitting at the right hand of Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? Yes. So I'm sitting in the studio. He got the MPC set up. The MPCs are linked into a chain of MPCs. So he start first. He programmed the beat. Start with a drum idea. Then the musicians start to make music that go with the beat. So then he starts to arrange and orchestrate from picking parts building parts, perfecting parts, and then that's how the original beat gets made. And that's the process of working with Dre. For myself, that always changes. Some days I might come in the studio, I might sing something. Like when I did Testify for Nas, I came in the studio and I sang, "Would you testify for me?" I sped my voice up and then I built the beat around my voice. So every time a beat is made, it could be a different approach. But again, on the Relapse, the way those beats were made is with Dr. Dre programming the beats, picking the parts, arranging the parts, building the track, doing a rough mix of the track, getting that track to the songwriters. They do their part. He might cut the vocal with you. Some people cut the vocal with Dre. Some people want to go off by themselves and do the vocal. But they come back in or whatever with the vocal is cut, and then Dr. Dre does the hardest part, which is perfecting it. Adding instruments, having different players come in. We come back in, I play a different this, try this, try this, try that. And then he take it to another level because he's the best engineer. And I think this is the thing that makes, to me, Dr. Dre the best producer who ever lived. There's a lot of great producers who can arrange music well, pick songs real well and do that. But to make the beat, to construct the beat from the first kick drum, to record the vocal, to master recording the vocal, to engineer the actual record themselves with their own hands. I don't know very many producers at all that engineer and mix their own records. Then you top that off with building with artists from the ground up. Even when Quincy got Michael already had so many hit records before he even met Quincy Jones. When he worked when Quincy worked with Frank Sinatra had a slew of hits. When Dre worked with Eminem, there's no hits. There's no sound. There's nothing. Nobody even knows who he is. We worked with 50. He's building these things from scratch. And then when you look at what the music is today, and they're always, for you look at who's the top R&B, you're gonna say Anderson .Paak working with Bruno Mars. That's a Dre project. Who's the best rapper? Kendrick Lamar. That's very clear. That's another Dre signing. Who's the best Eminem? Who's the best TV mogul in the game? Who's cranking out songs on TV? That's gonna be 50 Cent. So this is not only somebody who understands the present and building music in the present as a producer, but even understands how to work with certain people who are motivated enough to take that movement into the future as well.
That's a great breakdown. I think, the first time that thought even came into my mind was a Eminem song when he said, "Don't you know those beats are mailman's?" I was like, really? Maybe that should be investigated at some point in the future by somebody else. But that was the first time when I heard that.
I do want to give Mel some props because when Mel ushered in, what Mel brought in was the drum machine. Because before Dre was doing drum loops, because it was a beat change from when when Dre was doing like the NWA stuff, he was doing more drum loops and then chopping it up because he came from the DJ background. Mel and a dude named Butter from Pittsburgh, they brought in the drum machine. They had the 4-rat, the MPC 3000s, and that's when Dre learned, actually working with Mel, how to use the MPC. And from that's when Mark Elanzado and everybody came in, and Dre would start doing the drums himself because they was all working together initially, and that's when Dre got that skill set. And I remember vividly of Dre sitting there, and just like how Mark described it, and everybody around, like I could see record one right now, like in that main control room.
Yeah.
And everybody sitting around, and Dre sitting in the center, and he's sitting at the front. He start with his bop. And then Mark get his shit. Mark get the swinging in that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then Lozado got his shit. He's like, and lay that shit, Vito. Record that shit. Hold on, right there. Yeah, hold on. No, right there. Hit that chord. Then Mark. It's like, oh. And then the whole room starts shaking, bro. It's a wall full of fucking speakers. That shit, and you just like, you get the goosebumps of that shit coming up out of there. And them niggas will play it and just move on and do another one. And what Mark said is so true. They just lay like the basic of the beat. That's what they got. And then when somebody does a song, then them niggas will go in there with Dre and they'll construct the shit to where it's like it damn near feel like a whole nother record by the time they finish with it, with all the things that they're adding. And it's a process that I'm just blessed to be able to watch these guys do what they do, and had the opportunity to definitely record on some of your favorite songs and get outdone by some of the greatest to ever do it. That shit was awesome.
Word up, man. Mark, is there anything else you want to share with people, give people insight on, or let them know what they can look forward to from you?
You know, I'm working on a lot of different projects. You know, I have this film that we've been developing for a while. The Dre's involved with it as well. I'm gonna definitely have Stat come in and get some advice for it. But it's a Civil War movie that has a lot of hip hop operatic tones to it. We're looking to get Wesley Snipes to come in and be a Civil War superhero for us on it. And we've been developing that for a while. Coming up with pieces for it. We have film studios interested in taking that to the level to the next level. And just continuing my work, you know, of course, working closely with 50 Cent. They're making a new show, which is combining Power Force and Ghost, which is called, it's going to be called Legacy. I'm the composer for that show as well. And a bunch of movies coming out and just staying busy, being creative. And got a couple dreams like that I want to tap on this year. And definitely, I want to talk to you about that too. I want to make a Beethoven record with Busta Rhymes, which is all Beethoven, but Busta Rhymes beats. So
that's crazy.
Maybe we can
that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, talk about that as well. And I'm just thankful to be here. My word for the day, I have a sign up on my wall that has a lot of different words on it. And my word for today was appreciation. And so I'm very appreciative for y'all to be on here and to talk about an album that once made me put a cover over my head, and it's turned out to be quite a classic album that a lot of people appreciate. And so thank y'all again for having me on the show. And also I appreciate the brotherhood that I've had for both of y'all for countless amount of years, for the love we have for the countless amount of years and support. And shout out to Stat for getting back on the mic and doing the theme song for the third.
Oh man, listen,
we sitting on a hit. I texted them both. I texted them both last week. I was like, "Yo," I took one of these comments and all the, you know, there's so many of you third Versicans who are like, "Yo, where's the full? Where's the full?" I went to Apple Music. I can't find it. It's not on Spotify. Where's it at? You know what I mean?
Only for Mark. Only for Mark. Mark, let me tell you something.
We sitting on a hit, guys. By the way, we're sitting on a hit.
You see, I'm trying to change the subject, Mark. You see how I'm doing it? I'm trying to pivot. But seriously though, I don't consider you to be a guest. I consider you to be a part of this show. Right. So anything or any time, it's not even a situation like it's not even a situation where it's when you bless us with your presence, you're like a part of what we're doing. And that's why it's so special that you did do the beat for the theme song, because you're a part of our shit. And you know, people always want to talk about, when they talk about success, they talk about when they are successful, but success is getting started. Yes. And the fact that we got started and we've done this, we're already successful. And this show is moving in a direction without us even trying is growing every week. And we appreciate everyone in the chat and you and people that's rocking with us, because this one day will be one of the biggest shows, and it will continue the domination that Dre has, and just not just music. And now you're talking about media, because we'll be an extension of it. And I consider Joe Budden to be an extension of it because he was signed to Marshall. So
wow, right.
You know,
look at that. Look at the Dr. Dre family tree. Wow.
And it doesn't stop. You know, you talk about Griselda is an extension of,
no doubt,
of Eminem, because they were signed to Shady. So it just keeps going and going and going. And so many other aspects of it, even in the business world of hip hop, that people don't even know. So We all family here, always will be. And like I said, this is your platform as much as it is ours.
Thank
And
you.
anytime there's something, and if I ever say something out of line, you can, you always hit me because you know how I get, Mark. I'm out of line, dog. I'm foul. You know what
No,
I'm
you ain't trying. You ain't
That's
trying to
part-
hit nothing.
It's
You
part of
ain't
your
trying to
charm.
hit that stat.
It's part of your
like I'm gonna
charm.
call you stat. Say why you said that. You ain't trying to get that.
That's it. That's the number one question that I get. Like, dog, what in the hell are you
why say
talking
that?
about? You know what I'm saying?
We got a last minute super chat. I think you want to answer one more before we wrap up, or you got to go.
Absolutely.
Oh, go ahead. One more if you want.
M said M has said that he was relearning how to rap when he was writing and recording Relapse. Would love to hear more about the difference between pre-sobriety sessions and the relapse sessions for him.
I think that when we, again, I kind of talked about this a bit. I think that the Relapse album is him like really finding his voice, experimenting with his voice, what the accents and all that was about. I think he's coming to the studio and he's realizing I'm not that Eminem anymore. I'm not the Eminem who made my first 2 albums anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not making the records the same way. I'm not living the same way. I'm not as reckless as I used to be. I want to be alive. I need to stay with my family. And so now the accents is another voice. It's like, how can I find a new way to be Eminem? And so when inside of there, I keep coming back to the combination of fear and horror, how those two things work together. When you go to watch a horror movie, that horror movie is an extension of fears that we all have as human beings. Those fears are inherent in our DNA. From initially just being, when we talk about darkness, the whole fear of darkness is like, there was a time when if it was dark at night, monsters literally came and snatched family members, but that was lions and leopards and things like that. They came when it got dark, it was terrifying. You know what I mean? So we still have inherent in our DNA that fear of the dark, that fear of when the lights go out or whatever. So we go see horror movies and they're reflecting sometimes our fear of being eaten, you know what I'm saying, but by being devoured by animals and jungles and things like that. So it's a lot of that is letting us take that fear, control it in an hour and a half or 2 hours while we're munching on popcorn, and then walk out of the movie theater feeling totally relieved, that we were not being chased by monsters, that our world is peace. And I think Relapse is Marshall identifying being chased by monsters, his family being chased, losing his family, losing his life, his best friend dying, all of those things that they're inside of that. Those fears are inside of that. It's a purge, so to speak, of those fears. And then he arrives at that purge, which leads us to him making I'm Not Afraid on his next album.
Incredible.
Incredibly well said right there. That was incredibly well said. Mark Batson, the one and only.
Action Batson, my dog Thriller.
Thank you for joining us. Always welcome here, friend of the show, our brother.
Come on. Hey, listen. We lost Mike, but with the right there, we still here with Mark Batson. You know what I'm saying?
We still here. We still hold them close. You know what I'm saying?
We still got Thriller, baby.
Still got it.
That nigga Mike met Mark and made Thriller. It was over with.
That's right. Thank you, brother. Yo, we'll talk to you soon, man. Let's connect soon. And thank you so much for joining. Anything last words to the people or anything like that? I know you've said a lot, but
peace. I'm thankful to be here and don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Just challenge your fears. Challenge your fears in whatever way you see fit.
Our brother Mark Batson, thank you so much for joining us as always.
Yes.
Peace. We got that was good, man.
Action Batson, man. Come on.
That was good. That was a lot of insight. I loved how we just summarized pre sobriety and post sobriety and bringing it all together with darkness. I love that analogy. That was great.
Do you know how much shit I just learned right there? And I was around. It's crazy, dog. That's crazy. I forgot about him even flatlining. I forgot about all of that.
Yeah. That
It's
was
crazy.
that was deep. That was deep. Y'all don't even remember songs y'all on.
I mean, dog. Yeah, listen, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of writing. I don't even remember. I like people like, yo, you. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't remember at all. Straight up,
Wow.
I'm the worst. I don't remember shit. I don't remember nothing.
You tuned
You
in
have to
live.
have a.
Oh, sorry, keep
No, go
going.
ahead. I'm sorry. You have to have that type of memory with as a songwriter, because if you remember it, then it starts to seep into the next record.
Right.
So I forget it. Like it's like it never happened. And for some reason, I never repeat what I wrote before, which is crazy. That's how the brain is. I never figured that out. I don't understand that. Maybe some kind of brain scientist can tell me why do our creatives are like that. But I can write all these rhymes and I'll never repeat the same rhyme. But then if I gotta go perform them old rhymes, I gotta sit there and memorize it as if I didn't even do it. So anyway, go ahead.
You're tuned in live right now. Third Verse Podcast every Thursday, every Tuesday, right here, 8 a.m. Shout out to all the Third Versicans. Can we get a gong for the congregation? We got about 6 or 7 super chats left. You want to knock those out?
Absolutely.
And wrap the show, because there's a lot of people in here pointing out how tired you look. Look like you stayed up past your bedtime last night.
What is going on? Is it my glasses? Or like what make y'all think I'm wide the fuck awake? I was wide awake last night. I'm wide awake right now. What is it? Is it the way the light glasses? Do I need to move this shit?
I think it's probably you looking at your phone. So when you're looking at your phone to see what the chat's doing, your eyes.
I got it up. I be looking at text messages to make sure I'm representing. But like I got a whole operation jumping.
You got right. You got a whole command center.
I got a. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole joint. It's all lined up. I got a whole thing. I'm over here doing things.
Dawg, you look like a bot farm right now.
Man, for sure. I got Justin. What an amazing gift! Justin bought me a stand for my birthday for my brand new iPad that I bought. I got you. If y'all notice, my internet is not choppy because right now I have a T-Mobile internet directly tied into what we're doing right here.
So that's working right now. That's working for you.
That's why it's so clear.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, nice.
Your shit is clear, but I'm just letting you know. So
mine's clear by happenstance. It's not clear by
I don't know.
reputation.
I don't know what it would do if we tried to do the show like this and like maybe plugged it into directly. So whenever we get to that process of wanting to go live with a show, like then we'll try it. But I don't know. But I just know this is working right now. I'm happy.
I had a big breakthrough this morning with the coloring on my webcam. And so there's like this huge interface. I can show you real fast.
It looks good right now.
Yeah, it looks the best ever because I just learned something new on accident. So this is like the interface, what it looks like basically. Let me see this. Basically, this is what it looks like on the back end, right? And so, let me show this tab instead. So essentially, this is what where I alter, adjust the color or whatever that's happening, right? And so there's a tab here where it says effects, right? And normally there's a whole bunch of sliders, saturation, brightness, whatever it is, contrast. I just noticed this little, preset setting button here where it says bright right next to it. I just saw that for the first time this morning. So I clicked the little clicked the little, gear here, and it had a whole bunch of presets. So I just said bright, and that's why it looks fine. So I don't look overly red. I don't have to worry about coloration. So
honestly, this is the best.
It's the best I've ever looked.
Yeah.
Ever. So, like if I can get some consistent Wi-Fi in here, it's gonna make a big difference.
I want to shout out Mr. Beast, because Mr. Beast said something and I really take it to heart of what we're doing. He said every time you put content up, every time you do a new show, whatever you're doing on YouTube, you want to get better every time you do it. So every time we come out me and Justin really try to become better at what we do, try to make it better quality. We know it was blurry sometimes. I know y'all, and we appreciate y'all rocking with us, but we're trying to get better. I'm trying to convey my messages better. I'm trying to uh relay messages from people that I rock with better. Um, to make sure that they are represented by the things that I have to say. So, and I mean, Justin has been doing this goddamn 2 decades. So he's at a Zen level of communication. I am a puppy in this, trying to figure his way, trying to be a big dog. You know what I mean? That's all.
You stacking reps fast though. Stack close, stacking reps.
Shout out to my dog Problem, who hit me this morning, man, and really gave me a great compliment. And I appreciate you, Problem. It's love. He gonna come on. He got something he's working on, but he's gonna come on. But yeah, shout out to Problem, man, for even giving me those encouraging words and shit. You know, I rock with my dog.
Jason Mark, man. Yo, I mean, I think we do have that up. Yeah, we do have the Culture United live up available on the Company Man channel. But watching y'all talk about, argue over if Kendrick is Michael Jackson or not at the Grammy Museum in the auditorium, Clive Davis Auditorium.
We definitely argued about that. But that's a classic moment. That's family, man. I'm not from Los Angeles, but the way this city, and I gotta thank Dre for that, has just really put their arms around me and showing me love. And that's why I have to always adhere to conversations, because I know I've seen it go left so many times. I've seen situations go left, and we talk about certain things, but that shit easily turns into something else because of somebody in the crew got offended, and that's something that I don't want to be a part of, and I don't want any of that shit on my watch of anything, because this shit happens out here. It gets dangerous, and to hear my friend tell me to name a list of certain rappers that are no longer here, and to have that conversation that we had today just about that and why he is the way he is and how he's moving and it's like, damn, that shit kind of hit home, because man, Nipsey was our friend. He's not here. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we can go down the list and just not just talking about him, but it's a lot of artists that aren't here, a lot of people that aren't here for some foolishness, and so we want to keep it all the way. Cool. We know it's entertainment, and I know I be up here talking how I talk, but yeah, it's somehow some kind of way. It just seems like it goes so far. You know what I mean? Right. Them don't be my intentions. You know what I'm saying?
Word up. Shout out to Teresa, says Stat was in the comments at 1:30 a.m. way past his bedtime. Stat Quill.
Okay, hold on. I think I got this keys to the city thing, and I'm on it. I'm gonna send it to you, Justin.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a listen.
I want to see what's going on here, because
Now, if we play it, I guess we're probably gonna have to do this anyway, because we played the Dime a Dozen track, and I think Dime a Dozen samples. I can't remember what he samples, but there's a sample in that track we played, so we'll have to mute the sound. I had to do it on Culture United last night, but it was only 12 seconds I had to mute, so I didn't even have to worry about cutting it. The song gets to stay, but it's about that. It's 12 seconds at the end. So since that's going to happen, that's why chat replay is going to be gone. And shout out to anybody who was wondering why there's no chat replay from yesterday. It's because of the Dime a Dozen stuff, right? And so because of Dime has a sample in there, I had to take it out so I could keep the monetization. So since we played Dime here, I'm saying all that to say, since we played Dime here, we're gonna have to do that anyway. So if we want to play this Buffalo or this Keys to the City,
I'll send it to you. You got it.
Okay, cool. So that'll be fine.
I never even known this song. It's me and Obi and M. If I did it, I don't remember it. I can't wait to hear it.
Let's hear it.
I can't. Okay.
Nothing can stop it.
That's from the re-up. They just put a different beat on it. That's the re-up song. We're back. You ain't gotta play it, but that's what that is. Shady, we're back. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can save us. That shit. I don't
So
know.
they just changed the name of it.
Yeah, somebody said that's fake. So I don't know what the real song is. Maybe y'all can that ain't it.
Okay. So let's hear the other one. Yeah, I remember we were back.
Yeah, that's. There you go. I can't hear it, Justin. I can't hear. You got to put it in the middle. Justin just be jamming.
I got to pause on that line. That crazy, that underachieve line.
Oh man, come on.
We're 180 degrees now.
Come
we're
on.
180. We're 180 degrees. Come on, man. Another full circle moment. I feel like we're watching you on Madison Square Garden on the stage right now.
Hey, listen, I was riding this motherfucker. I ain't gonna
You
lie.
flowing.
That boy was spin.
Spin.
That boy was spin. Hey man, run him back, Justin. Run him back. Let me get that one more time, dog. Let me get that
Rewind
one more time.
selector.
We talked about the Hawaii shit because
Yeah.
that really when I was out there with Mark, then we was doing all them joints. And I didn't know, you know what's crazy? I didn't know at the time that we stopped doing detox. that I was on the low of the totem pole of that conversation. I'm still making all these detox songs, and next thing I know, Jay-Z all Jay-Z got all the joints. I'm like, yo,
right.
I thought this was detox.
Word up. Word up. Oh man. That was great.
Yeah.
The last couple of super chats, we got one right here from Brown Girl L says that breakdown felt a little reminiscent of Purple Hearts by Kendrick featuring Summer Walker. I think that was about one of Mark's breakdowns for Relapse, maybe. I think that's what that was, perhaps. Let's see. This one here says, Rocky definitely raps better than Capadonna.
Hey, listen. I don't know if you remember the Capadonna verse. Rocky does not have a performance like that anywhere on a record. I don't know if you just type in Capadonna a verse or something. Google it, and that verse goes. What was that? Liquid Swords is he on at the end?
I think it's Liquid. I'm not sure which one it is, but I know Capadonna has a few show-stealing verses. Like maybe he has a handful of them.
He out-raps the whole Wu-Tang. That's a bad take. I'm sorry.
Right.
On that particular song.
Right. We got Ka7 says, quickly becoming one of the best shows out there. Thank you, fellas. Thank you, Ka7.
Thank you so much.
Bro.
Thank you so much.
We got Musa says, Rocky's not a pure spitter, but he is a great stylist. Like Mark said, I love the way he experiments with his sound and challenges himself. He'll find pockets on a beat that you didn't know had pockets.
I want y'all to understand something. I really give him a hard time because he said he was a lyricist in the interview, and then somebody said that he said that people stole his flow. That's why I really give him a hard time. But as far as his accomplishments and what he does, and what he's done in the business and how successful he's been, I kudos to him. He's a giant. You know what I mean? He sells out arenas. That's not an easy task.
Right.
Not too many rappers are still doing that. In this economic time, people say, you know what? I'm going to spend $300 to go see this man. That is absolutely incredible. You see all these tours canceling and people saying, yeah, you know what? I broke my toe. No, you couldn't sell no damn tickets. That's not happening to him. So, you know what I mean? You got to give him props. He's one of the biggest artists that we have in the space because his catalog, that is, because he sells out arenas dolo. So, did I just have my whole head out on the thing?
Yeah, you did.
I gotta learn how to scratch it without exposing myself. I felt naked. I felt the breeze. I'm like, oh shoot.
Damn, man, you didn't have your man makeup for a second.
Man, I got almost exposed the joint. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hide this.
If you go back and look at old episodes of the third verse, plenty of moments like that.
Oh man, terrible. The hat fell off.
Deluxe the Champ says, Stack, get up, Meek Mill voice.
I'm here. I'm not. Let me just do this. Can you see my eyes better? Because I don't need the glasses to see.
Yeah, I see it.
Like, do people need to? Do I need to do that? Like, so y'all can see?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm awake.
Let me do this fast because I do want to point this out. For people who've watched the show before, Stats talked about the re-up and how this was set up to push him to the forefront. And that's why he has Stat written on his shirt right here. Eminem drew this, and he made sure to put Stat here so people know Stat's up next. He's right next to Eminem. And then Stat said, you got to give me $1 million. And, well.
The Stat's an idiot. Hey, yo, and that's why I say, that's another reason why I don't be coming down on people, because I've been stupid too, y'all. I admit it. I ain't not messed up. I have messed up. I have done dumb shit, and that was one of the dumbest things ever. I can't wait till the day he comes on here so we can talk about it in front of y'all, because it's gonna happen. Yeah, that's gonna happen. I don't give a damn what nobody. I don't care what nobody says. We're gonna become so big to where all the people that I want to come on here are gonna come on here, because it's gonna be big enough for them to do that. But asking your people that are huge to come on your shit when it's like not huge, I think it's disrespectful to them. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's like, yo, you should have such and such on. These guys are iconic. You want to have something where it benefits them too. You know what I mean? You don't want it, not to say what we're doing here is not large, but you're talking about people that have sold damn near, billions of streams, hundreds of millions of records, you know what I mean? And have 30, 35, 40-year long careers. So,
Right. Shout out to Examiner. He says Relapse about to be on the chart report next week. Bring it back to the forefront.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shot No, says not the same game. Kendrick's issue wasn't that Drake and Game collaborated on 100. Issue was Drake dissed Kendrick. 50 didn't diss Game on Power. That's going to be interesting. I expect this conversation, this edition, to raise more questions, truthfully, because I was in my mind, I'm trying to think about that timeline of that, right? Because when does 100 come out? 2015?
Yeah, it was on the same album as Kendrick had collaborated on that. I think this one of their project On and On. But see so as far as people said, Game went on Breakfast Club and said him and 50 was cool. What was being said publicly and what we knew behind the scenes was two different things. So there's a ASAP did an interview last night. He talked about his relationship with Ferg. To the general public, they was cool until he confirmed something that everyone else knew. In the industry, we knew. So there's a lot of things that happen in the music industry that Justin knows, I know, because we've been told. And then people get up in front of the public and they save face and say something totally different because it doesn't benefit them to expose the information. So truth be told, I don't ever think 50 and Game have ever been at a place where they weren't. They have tolerated each other's presence. They have been in the same club, and there wasn't violence. But I can say that these guys have never been in a place where it was all good. I'm just being real, you know what I'm saying? On both sides.
Well, I think the other aspect that I expect to raise questions is just the timeline, right? Because if you have 102 in 2015, and you have Kendrick showing up on Power in 2018, and the way it sounded was that was something that, Game never had a problem with or Game let slide. But that's actually 3 years after the 100 video. It presents as, okay, well, but that 100 happened after the Power thing. The 100 happened before Power. And so I think it's just going to raise more questions, potentially.
Well, his point is there's never even been a conversation. He never had the opportunity to have a conversation about it. Because Top told me that he talked to Game about it, about the 100 thing. And then Game just said he never spoke to Top about it. So, it's, that's for them. Now, I know Top and Game will get on the phone. That's not a problem. They talk all the time. They talk. So I'm sure they'll have a conversation. I'm sure Top has the same phone number, y'all. I mean, if you got Top Dog, if you knew him back when he was not an executive, he has the same number. He like me. I've had the same number since, I'm going to age myself, but I had the same number since 1996. Literally the same phone number. I don't change my shit because I ain't ducking no phone calls. Top got the same phone number. So I'm sure him and Chuck will get on the phone. They'll talk about it. I have done my due with this. I will not be having any more conversations about this subject matter. Just so y'all gonna react and have something to say. I'm in it and I ain't in it. I'm out of it. Game want to come on. He said a lot of electric things on that 45-minute call that we just had. FaceTime that we just had. It was a lot of electricity. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going to be saying that because I just want things to end here. So he'll have his moment to speak when he comes on here and talks. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. And he reminded me that me and him was supposed to do a show. So he already know what it is. Before there was a Justin, it was supposed to be me and Game to do a podcast, so y'all know.
And that would have been explosive.
that would have been bad for the world.
Right, it would have been explosive and
yeah, but this is I know I need Justin to sit my ass down somewhere. He knows how to communicate with me in a way to where I understand. But I'm really learning through this because things that don't seem like a big deal to me are a huge deal to everybody else. And so like I didn't think the Top calling me to tell me something and you doing that thing was going to like, oh, this he confirmed. I'm like, this is like everybody knows this already. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think it was a thing. So because I said it. I had already said it. I didn't say nothing. I didn't give any new information. I learned today that Game said he got paid to wear that hoodie. That's why he had it zipped up like that. I didn't know that. So that's something I learned today. And I hope that they hear that.
Right.
But yeah.
And I've been doing breakdowns, like, alluding to a lot of things for a very long time. You know what I mean? So
I've been leaking shit to this dude for over a decade. This dude, literally, I be somewhere, I'm at the gym working out, randomly. Hey, what did Eminem mean by this?
Right.
Hey, one thing about Justin, as a journalist, he gets right to it. He don't hit you with that bullshit of, hey, how you doing? Hope all is well. Justin texts you the question. Hey, man, you know anything about this game thing?
Yeah, for a lot of things. But one thing that's real, one thing I do take, very sincerely, like people, there's a lot of comments in the video we put up yesterday, the Top Dog Check Stat video, who are like, oh, look at Justin telling him to put the phone on mute. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is something that has always been at the core of just my approach as a journalist. Like, I don't turn everything into content. And unless someone explicitly tells me to share where this is coming from, a lot of times I'll just tell the story as if I'm telling the story without, bringing in different parties in. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've developed trust in this space over the years. And it's also the reason why, if you really look at, and not even just with Stat, with a number of different relationships, a number of different people close to me and sources that I've had over the course of my career, that's pretty much why most of the stuff, at this point, I feel confident like 94 to 96% of everything I put out still holds up. You know what I'm saying? And so it is something you got to understand, or not understand, but this is a growth moment because you are in the media now. People, I look at these comments sometimes on Twitter. People are like, man, Stat is the gift that keeps on giving. Stat is closing up all the loops right now. You know what I mean?
Do you know how big our channels would be right now if we had done this during the battle? I'm talking about.
I know. Oh my God, we'd be out of here.
Because I was telling Justin shit. I'm like, I'm gonna tell you this, but you can't say nothing. That's a bunch of shit I was telling Justin. He's like, I know he's like, God damn it, but man, we was in the thick of that shit. I was like there every time, like, yo, dude, I'm having it was crazy. That shit was crazy. That was crazy. And I didn't really see how big from a hip hop media standpoint, because I wasn't really tuned into it. I just was really listening to the music. I still was executive mode. I wasn't tuned into videos and what people were making. But a lot of the people I guess you would call guys and girls that make content, they kind of rose from the battle and continued on after that, as far as like having a hold in the media space. A lot of, especially out here on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the guys. So
I wanted to ask you, I'm glad this super chat right here from Grim Rex, because this is another one I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. He said, Stat, why you always rap about drinking pee? Why is there no pee reference and stuff?
There's two signs.
I should have fed you piss. There probably are two more. Yeah,
it's three.
Now it's a pattern.
I forgot about that one.
Now it's a trend. Now it's a pattern.
No. Because I did the renegade on girls having them thinking it's lemonade, and then that one, I don't know what that was. I mean, I think I'm troubled.
Oh man,
troubled. Just a disrespectful youth. I was very disrespectful. I was very out of my pocket. But yeah, it's 3 songs for sure. Prominent songs in my collection where urine is used in the rhyme scheme. But PT is easy to rhyme.
Maybe it's partially the era, too. The era. People were saying a lot of crazy stuff in the era, and look, there was a lot of R. Kelly news floating around in the ether back then. Dave Chappelle, one of Dave Chappelle's best skits is making fun of R. Kelly. So perhaps
it was definitely some different things happening in the game that was not going on now. RIP to the BS, but yeah, you're right. I just said P again. RIP.
Right.
Okay, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was the era, and I think it was also, a meme before memes, so. Yeah. That's actually really funny. Shout out to Michael Simon. Says, this is exactly what I was saying. This is where my mind went. So it says Hunte was released June 2015. That was on Power July 2018. Game is once again gaslighting, poor attempt at justification. I'm just saying, you want to just let them talk about it at some point and come back to it, when we have the conversation when it comes on.
No, but I want to answer. Y'all just want to answer it really quick because I know you got to go. But okay, so if that happened and there was an issue and they never spoke about it, and then would you say that? Could somebody look at that as a rebuttal to what he did? And it came out 3 years later, but because there was nothing that happened in the intermediary, if he hadn't communicated or had any conversations, he wouldn't know that there was a problem because he didn't view it as an issue. You see what I'm saying? So that's my point. He didn't, from his standpoint, no one told him nothing. I told him, but he didn't, if it didn't come from them, right? He's not seeing it as an issue. And plus, like I said, when you are at when you feel like you have impacted someone at a certain place, some people feel as though they get certain leeway. So what are you even tripping about that? Because look what I have contributed to what you got going on. So that's something to think about. And I think I'm done with it. I'm out of it. That's it.
Right. Michael Simon says, fact check, Andy Stone, brother, and Indy RE Brown Skin were released 5 months apart. That's true. That's 100%. Andy Stone was the other one that said the other one. Yeah. So
that's the wrong singers. But yeah, sorry about that.
And
R.I.P. to Angie Stone, man.
Yeah, rest in peace. And this is the last one we have right now from Examine It. You guys have said before why J. Cole dropped out the battle. Are y'all ever going to disclose, or y'all got NDAs? I don't have an NDA, but I'm not going to. That's not my ministry.
Nope. That's not mine either.
As the undefeated actor Omar Dorsey would say, that's not my ministry.
Not mine either. I ain't got time for it. That's not the kind of channel that we have. That's messy for us to be over here doing stuff like that. We not on that. That's not. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But right. It'll surface at some point. Maybe 20 years from now, and maybe
look, the way the world's moving, it might surface way before that.
Exactly.
Who knows
for sure
how this could go? But it's not going to come from me. I'll tell you that.
Me neither. Me neither.
So
can't touch this.
Can't touch it. People want to know what time we are reacting to concerts. What show are we watching tonight? Want to do 6? Let's do 6.
Let's do 6.
Is there anything big dropping? I don't know anything big dropping tonight.
It don't matter. People really like the show better anyway. Fuck it. Let's do the show, dog.
All right.
If it ain't nothing big coming out, bro, pause. That's terrible. If there's not a major release coming out, why are we sitting here, just reacting to Joe Smo and boring the people? Let's do what show you want to do though?
So we have the Mr. Morale tour has been suggested. The Pop Out's been suggested. South by Southwest with the Tupac hologram has been suggested.
I mean, that's Coachella.
Excuse me, yeah, Coachella, yeah.
Okay.
With the Tupac hologram has been suggested. Where are we at? This is August 2026. I mean, I like the Pop Out. The Pop Out was fun.
Let's do the Pop Out. I didn't go.
You didn't go?
So
okay, yeah, so let's go. Yo, and look, and you said that was one of the moments where you're like, yo, with the Euphoria reaction. That was something that you were like, yo, you want to see. All right, so let's do the Pop Out tonight.
Let's do the Pop Out, man. Let's keep it West Coast, man. And then, let's keep it West Coast.
Word up. All right, so tonight, 6 p.m.?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. We're going to take a look at the Pop Out tonight.
We're going to react to we can watch the Pop Out together. Bring your popcorn. You know what I'm saying? I will be eating on mute while we're watching it because it's not being... we're not getting paid to watch it anyway, so fuck it. I will be as unprofessional as possible. 6 p.m.
6 p.m. The Pop Out right here on the Third Verse channel. Happy Third Verse Thursday to all the Third Versicans out here. Big thank you to Mark Batson for coming through the show today. I got a lot of insight from Mark. I hope you guys did too. You have any other words you want to share?
I want to thank everybody for even watching us, not just on all the platforms that we show on. Trying to figure out how we can put our stuff on TikTok because they say we need some kind of special shit. If anybody in the chat will help us figure that out, we've been trying to, because people have been trying to request that. We don't put it live on Instagram because y'all just like clips on Instagram. People like clips on Instagram. That's the clip land.
Yeah, whenever I live stream the Culture United Instagram, it bounces somewhere between 2 and 1 person, like for the whole 3 hours. Big thank you to everyone who watched Culture United last night. Honestly, that was an instant classic episode of Culture United, and it's really efficient. Like the number of different topics we covered cleanly. I think adding the super chats between the sections helped a lot. But again, your J. Cole commentary was clipped. This Killer Mike versus FD stuff. That's been clipped and is going around today. The ASAP Rocky Rihanna stuff, I forgot about that. I saw some people who clipped parts of that conversation, and the Diamond Dozen album premiering those 2 new songs and breaking Sister. You know what I mean? So from an impact standpoint, away from just the culture community aspect, the awesome undefeated community we built with Culture United. But from an impact standpoint, that's a lot from one episode of a show. And then you put that on top of Third Verse, like I said, there's like 5 or 6 stories that people are interested in coming out of this awesome corner of the hip hop universe.
Exactly, man. And we couldn't do it without y'all because me and Justin we wouldn't have nothing to talk about if we would just talk. Well, no, that's not true. I'm wrong.
Yeah, we've been doing that for years for free, with nobody else around.
That's a lie. I'm lying. I'm bullshitting, y'all. That's bullshit. Me and Justin have a podcast. We can literally get off this shit and have a whole nother show. You know what? I'm going to tell you this. I am not calling you when we hang up. I'm going to say this shit.
We got to do it. It's one of my favorite things. The debrief is important, We got to debrief.
After every show we talk to each other. And sometimes the post call has went long.
Yeah.
We've had because that's when we have like personal talks. I tell them that's when we talk about shit that we can't tell y'all, especially now. You can't. I can't say a lot of shit I want to be saying.
Right, and a lot of times I have questions. I'm like, wait a minute, I need the full context of that now. Let me understand what I'm missing.
Justin, I'm gonna remind you of something. I'm not gonna say what it is. The BlackBerry story that I told before we went live on Culture United. That alone would shake up the world, all right?
Yo, I wasn't sure if you were going to say it on the show or not, but you talking about People Magazine, you talking about TMZ, you're talking about all kinds of places with audiences who don't care about the hip hop stuff.
Let me tell you. And listen, the other people from Culture United was just sitting there like, the people on the panel was like,
Yeah.
"You're not gonna say that on the thing."
Shout out
Hey,
to El
listen.
Chanels. She says, I feel debrief jealousy.
She was there.
No, she's talking about just generally speaking, but she was there. She knows exactly what
She
you're talking
heard what
about.
I said. Yeah, she heard what I said.
Yeah. That's so funny.
She heard what I said.
Big thank you, Crown K. Big thank you, Lils. Big thank you, Divine Eternally. Big thank you, JG. JG's been on. She's been traveling for work the past couple of weeks, but just Gwen. Big thank you to Bucktooth and everyone that's a part of this community.
You see, Elle said I was shocked. She remembers.
Right. Right. Hey, yo, I'm talking like Lipstick Alley. I'm talking whatever things, whatever places focus on what is happening with women. That story. Woo.
Yeah. I'm saying
all
I ain't nothing. I ain't nothing to play with now. If it just really just got petty and I just want to spend money on security.
Yeah, right.
I ain't nothing to play with. If I was just like want to ruin shit, just be terrible. Listen, I've been the fly on the wall for a very long time, y'all. I've been that fly. I've been the thing in the room that no one cared to not talk about in front of.
Well, look, I'll tell you this, man. Look, my one of the reasons I respect you so much and have for so long is because I personally have only experienced you ever using your powers for good. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people out here who use their powers however they need to get ahead. And you are not one of those people. And I respect that so much about you.
Yeah. And somebody said I'm messy. I'm not. I'm just telling my truth because, like I said, I was supposed to do a podcast with Game. So if it was my intention to just be going viral, this nigga is a viral machine.
Right.
He's you know, if that's what I wanted to do, I just tell all the shit I know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That BlackBerry story will fucking that shit could change. That, you know. Anyway, I'll call you after we hang up. You guys join us at 6 o'clock tonight. We're gonna be reacting to the pop up, which I was not there. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's that.
Oh, yeah, and there's a part of the pop-up where I think you can see me in the audience, so we'll take a look at that. Yo.
Peace.
The third person. The third person.